What's going on, Juco? Rumble, YouTube, family, what's good? What's happening? Welcome to Ironwork 92,000s, Flat Earth Friday. My spin on this whole Flat Earth Friday thing, we've got a few other Flat Earth Fridays out there. However, mine is a little bit earlier, and it's earlier tonight. You know what I'm saying? So we here. We made it. It's Friday. Some of us got paid. Some are getting laid. Some are getting both. So for all of those getting paid and getting laid, I had to do something. You know what I'm saying? That's my way of saying, man, congratulations to making it to the weekend and to making it here on tonight's stream, where we got a couple of things we need to discuss. You know what I'm saying? We need to go over a few things. But before we do, I've got a good guest of ours. We're very familiar with them. Some of us may not know him, but you'll get to know him. Our man Lowry in the house.
What's up, man?
I'll give you some applause, man. Lowry, welcome, brother. Welcome.
Thank you very much.
It's good to see you, man. It's good to see you. How's your week so far? Rolling into the weekend.
I mean, it's like there's so much to process. It's been streaming, like it's been charged like the last 2 days, the thing and going on out there. And we're in a part for, I think we're doing part 3 of UFO 4 parts with Sov later tonight. So it's just been one stream after another, and there's a lot to talk about. So I just kind of gave up this weekend to the streams, and I did get just a little nugget of information just now from Jaron, who did answer what I was trying to stream it today, but he didn't get back to me. I guess they got busy with their baggage and whatnot. That he did went at midday yesterday. He did see the sun in a northerly direction. Why is that important? In my 4th floor loft here, I've got 17 windows, and it's a corner loft. So I can literally see the sun out my window pretty much all day long until it gets to be summer. Then it's straight above me, and it's great light, but you don't get to see the sun actually. But in the southern position, towards the Tropic of Cancer, it goes straight across here. Right. So yesterday at I want to say it was about 2 p.m. our time, and we had Antarctic Monkeys, who was in Denver. And I looked out the window, and I was looking at the sun, 45 degrees, and we could check 45 degrees against some of the shadows coming into my loft. Right. And it's 90 degree at the ceiling and 90 degree down the wall. And the shadows were coming straight in at roughly 45 degrees. And I asked, where did he see the sun? He's in Denver. And what I suspected he would say is he sees the sun. This is southwest for me.
Right.
At 2 o'clock yesterday afternoon. He said, I see the sun southeast, which we just by reckoning with our eyes, put the sun roughly somewhere southern United States center, like
in the middle.
We're in the Gulf, somewhere in that area, right? Well, what I wanted to get from Jaron was I wanted to know where he saw the sun at that point in time, because he's 6,400 miles that direction, which is south.
Right.
And so
were they still in? I'm sorry to interrupt. Were they still in Punta Serenas at that time?
That's where I wanted the observation to come from, because we don't exactly, do they know where they're going? We don't exactly know where they're going to be. And if we're going to be able to show where they're actually at is where they're at. So I wanted to get the observation from Punta Serenas. And he did say yesterday, and he said midday. So I would say probably like noonish to 1-ish. He was seeing the sun north from Punta Serenas, which would match up with, the current model we're kind of working with. Which is the Gleason's projection. It's the best we got right now. Even though that whole 2 hours ahead stunt, that was a surprise to me. I didn't know that. I thought that most of South America was in roughly the central time zone. Where they're at is 2 hours ahead of us at Eastern Standard Time, which means South America isn't where it used to be, or they just didn't tell us what it was. So that was curious. But anyway, he did see. He looked up to the north, and the sun was northerly. Now I don't have any more details on that, but that was the big question I was trying to get answered today.
Okay.
So that would put the sun north of him where he's at. So the big question is going to be, what are they going to see as far as when it starts to go down? Is it going southward, or is it coming up from the south and then going back down in a southwesterly shape? That's the big question.
Yeah.
Right. And then
something, whatever.
So anyway, that's the latest from that. But how you doing, man? You good?
Well, that's That's something that we're going to be discussing much of today. But yeah, so far so good, man. So far so good. Yeah, I'm in New York now. I'm here. I'm in your
Yeah.
neck of the woods, bro.
Are you in Brooklyn?
I'm in BK, man.
Man, we could have just done the podcast from right here. We could have just like set up some mics and did it in my front room.
I know I got a couple of things going on here though, man. So I gotta knock these out first. But
No,
yeah, man, I'm here. I'm here.
cool.
I'm here. I'm probably going, but I'm gonna definitely pay y'all a visit though. I'm for
Yeah,
sure gonna pay
please.
y'all a visit. You know what I'm saying?
Hell yeah.
But before we continue, want to say what's up to the fam. You know what I'm saying? We got people in the house. Mr. Warrior being here first. You know what I'm saying? First prize for Mr. Warrior. What's going on, man? It's good to see you. Nate X in the house. Good to see you, bro. Good to see you. Brian Hamilton, you're a new one. Welcome to the spot. Mikasa Sukaza. You know what I'm saying? Kick your feet up, relax, sit back, relax, have a good time, man. Help yourself to anything in the digital fridge. Just make sure you're nice. Play nice, because these dudes will eat you alive in here. Real talk. Shannon Emerson in the house. Good to see you, sis. Shannon Emerson been early lately, man. Shannon been here too. But it's good to see you. It's really good to see you, Shannon. Christy Lee Dolls. New body. Good to see you. Welcome again. Welcome. Make yourself at home. Sit back and relax. Riku Swaran. We're going to be having a show tomorrow with Riku tomorrow. Tomorrow at 11 o'clock. Riku's going to be hosting, and I'm going to be guesting along with many others. Gene edited, David Weiss, and the like. You know, so it's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. Welcome, Riku. It's good to see you, bro. Mr. Superside Wanda, good to see you, family. What's happening in the house? All right. Lowry, what's good, man?
Oh man, there's just so much, dude. There's so much. Did you guys get into? I was hanging over with Flatsoy there for most of it, but we also caught some information from down there that there was a bit of an uprising at dinner last night in Pointus Arenas, if I'm saying that correctly. That they almost called the whole thing off because they weren't going to be able to film at least the flat people that are down there, and that was part of the ALE agreement that unless you have permission, you can't film them. So I think they're in a tight spot. The TFE people.
Yeah, you know what? I this is what I foresee. I think they're, in my opinion, because I think there's a little bit of fakery behind this, because they're going to wind up turning some of this into a movie. There's a possibility that they can take this, they can add the drama just for footage purposes. You know what I'm saying? Just for drama's sake. Be like, oh, they got into a fight, when in real life, it's like WWF. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah.
Where they act as if they're enemies, but Andre the Giant and, you know, Big John Studd and Hulk Hogan, they're actually drinking buddies and stuff.
Yeah.
You know, so I'll be honest with you, man. I don't know who to trust. I like that. This is a very peculiar place to be in when it comes to the flat earth and everything else. Some folks have deemed themselves to be a little bit, you know, untrustworthy, unfortunately. And I'm going to be respectful to everybody still. I'm totally going to be Sav. What's happening, bro? It's good to see you, man. But at the same time, there are those that I don't think I could trust. I just can't. I can't, in all good consciousness, man, and for journalism's sake, and I'm not even a journalist, but we still present news to everybody as we've come around it and as we find it, and we want it to be clean and kosher. We don't want it to be infected with lies and BS, you know, or those that are deliberately muddying the waters and stuff. But Sav, what's happening, fam? Just saw Sav and Lowry and me, we just came from Fletzoid's channel. It was quite interesting to have a gentleman on there that claimed to be a flat earther. However, he came on with a lot of spunk behind him, and I didn't appreciate that, not at all. And it's a false dichotomy to claim such things, but we carry on. It's like, let me stop. Flats was in the house, so I just came from Flats' channel. You know, acting a fool, man, acting a fool. But Riku's in the house. Rumham Solo. Rumham been coming out with the jokes lately. Been talking mad crazy. But it's all good, Rumham Solo. Welcome, bro. It's good to see you. Dr. Bose with the hose. What's happening? It's good to see you, Dr. Bose, and thank you for adding me to the Facebook channel too. I really appreciate it. One more quarter. What's happening, fam? So, Dr. Bose, if you would please stand by later on, I got something for you. You know what I'm saying? I got something for that ass. So hang around and hang out. You know what I'm saying? One more quarter. Good to see you, bro. Good to see you. And flat out faith, what's happening, fam? In the Rumble chat. Thank you for everybody in the Rumble chat. Shout out to y'all, everybody in the Rumble, giving that thing some life. You know what I'm saying? I really appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. You know, so yeah. So everybody else coming in again, one more quarter. What's happening? Everybody else coming in, man. It's good to see y'all. It's good to see y'all. Oh, Sav, so definitely, yeah, hang out, man, because you're gonna hang out. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be nice. It's gonna be nice. Okay, Sean Alki, good to see you, bro. And where there's Sean Alki, there's ABC, Angela Baby Carson. We got Alphabet Soup in the house, so it's good to see the couple, the Alki and the ABC family in the house. It's always a pleasure. Always a pleasure. And as I continue down this list, I don't want to miss anyone. American Off Grid, what's happening, fam? It's good to see you, bro. It is good to see you. Welcome, 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 everybody, man. Welcome as we start to stream in. I don't want to miss anybody. You're all important cogs to this crazy clock and making it function. Jimmy Satterfield in the house. Good to see you, bro. You guys are all important cogs in this crazy thing happening. Skeptic 936, what's happening, man? See lightning. See lightning, go see lightning. It's good to see you, man. You was okay. So I'm looking at this real quick. You was watching Witsit and some woman live in Punta Arenas. It was dark and they were telling us light on the horizon was in the south. Did they figure out what that light was? So this is what at Punta Arenas. I think this is the stream that Saab was doing live on Friday. Not that was Friday. Was it?
It was
Wednesday?
last night. I think it was last. There was.
Is
They've
that
done two
Thursday?
streams. They've done
That
one.
was that was Wednesday, right?
Was it?
Was that
Wednesday,
last night?
Thursday. They've done two streams, and they're both at midnight. And I
Yeah.
want to say it was tonight's Friday, so I want to say they did one Wednesday night and last night. And
That was Wednesday night. That was the
Yeah.
one Wednesday night where I joined you guys. And I was like, oh, what are those lights? But I was a big idiot because those were like bottom up lights from some like, like little casino or something. But then Jaron and them claimed to see the lights further south. And then it looked like there was light at the horizon, and you could see some mountain ranges. It looked a little funky.
It was illumination, but they didn't see the sun per se that night.
Right.
They didn't see like an actual ball, a sun ball.
Right.
And then they did it again last night, and it was different than the night before because I think it might have been earlier.
Right.
But there's illumination, and but I'm really just interested. I think they already know what they know. I think they've already made enough observations to get a sense of what's going on. I think that's why, because he was supposed to call me today and tell me what happened there today, and he didn't. I think it's just because they were busy with their luggage, but also because maybe they already know some stuff and they're just kind of waiting.
Yes. And so here's the thing with them knowing, and since they're making a documentary and a movie about this, there's a lot of things that they have to adhere to this contract. They have to promise to not let people know some stuff ahead of time, because if they do, that would be the breach of contract. And then, people could go to jail, people could get sued, all kinds of stuff.
Yep.
So it wouldn't surprise me if that's all part of it as well. And yeah, like I said, man, the whole trust thing. Yeah, man, that shit's out the window when it comes to them clowns. I'm sorry, man. And I don't mean to call them clowns like that, but just the whole lot of them, man. Like, we've been lied to so much, and just the whole mess. It's like you got to take the baby and the bathwater when it comes to that thing and throw it all out. It's all infected.
Just all
I'm
things.
sorry.
Test all things.
Yeah, but at the same time, seeing them having dinner, and I'm not saying that they need to be enemies. No, but if you're going to be observing and claiming that it's an experiment, well, treat it like it's an experiment. If you have to divide people or keep them separate in order to keep certain things true, especially when you have the audience that thinks this whole thing is a total farce, then you need to make it as experiment like as possible. You know what I'm saying? But now, since you got the dudes having dinner, having drinks, Lord knows what else is going on down there. They could be having a big old frat party for all we know. It stinks to high heaven, in my opinion. Saddle Bum, what's happening, family? It's good to see you, man. Good to see you, fam. Saddle Bum in the house. Joseph Osborne, Mr. Osborne. Good to see you. Who's that? Osborne, I think that was the Green Goblin's name, right? Harry Osborne. That's it. Green Goblin was Harry Osborne, man. It's good to see you, Joe Osborne. It's good to see you. Good to see you. Good to see you. And you guys, as you guys are coming in, welcome, welcome, welcome. Make yourselves at home. Kick back, relax. Make sure you go to the bathroom or you bring your phone with you, whatever. Just make sure you're hearing this stream. Grab you some popcorn, some tea, coffee, a drink. Relax. Pebbles, how you doing? How you doing, sis? It's good to see you. Where's Mr. Porter? Hopefully Mr. Porter's around somewhere. Aflis Gutra. It's good to see you. And so along with the Aflis Gutra, I've never seen you here, but welcome. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Smelling a rat? I don't know. That's a good question. That is a good question. That's to be determined, that's to be seen. But you know what? Here's the crazy part. No matter what a lot of these folks try to pull on us, there's so many smart people keeping a close eye on it that somebody's bound to catch something. So if they plan on trying some craziness, do so at your own peril. But once you lose the credibility of the people, you lose the credibility forever. Somebody will remember, right? Yep. And you could think you watching everybody. That's not true. Everybody, though, is watching you. That rhymes, by the way, but let's keep it moving. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, man. Yeah, I firmly believe that. You could think you watching everybody, man, but everybody's watching you. So, athletes, yeah, athletes.
Do you have a way of the thing you sent me today to share that on your screen?
Oh, that's what I was about to ask you, bro.
I can set it up that way. Let me just got to do a workaround here, but I think it's going to be better for everybody to see it while we talk about it.
So if you guys don't remember, and we're talking about Kapitan Rustar, right? Rustan. Kapitan. So Kapitan, our brother Kapitan Rustan from Serbia. So if you guys don't know where Serbia is, if you look at where if you close your eyes real tight, look at where Italy is, and if you go north in the Adriatic, right, you'll see a bunch of countries, and it's like basically northeast. That's like the crack. That Adriatic, I consider that like a crotch because Italy's like the boot. So that crotch area is Slovenia, and in and around there further east you've got Croatia. And then right next to Croatia, you've got Herzegovina and what's that thing? Herzegovina. It's like two countries split into one. It's weird. Herzegovina, we'll call it, right? And then right next to Herzegovina is Serbia. Okay. Serbia and Herzegovina. So if you imagine that region area right there, and then basically it's east of Italy. Right over the Adriatic. There goes Serbia. And so our brother Kapitan Rustar, he's from there. And if you hadn't forgotten, he was here talking about how there's a possibility. I'm not saying that it's totally true, but maybe, right? This is something to consider because we figured something out, some possibilities as to how we could have the wool pulled over our eyes. But he says that maybe they could have filmed this previously during the summer solstice up in the northern regions, right? Up in and around where they have the suns hanging out for 24 hours up there in order to act as if they were going down south to do just that, right? And then what it would have turned out to be is that, oh, we had something hanging out in the south. Now, how he went about proving such things was he went and he looked at their time hacks, right? Their time feeds. So when these guys were making content, I was talking with Lowry about this previously. Me, I like to do my stuff basically twice a week, Tuesdays and Fridays. Every once in a while, I might have something going on to where I may miss an episode or something. But if I miss an episode, I'll push it to the right, or I might push it to the left, right? It may vary, but typically I'm consistent Tuesdays and Fridays. Jaron, I think Jaron might have a schedule that he goes off of, right? But I'm saying all that to say that these guys had missing time. And I think this is something worth keeping an eye on and something that we need to explore a little bit further, because then this may give us a piece to this puzzle that could be an absolute farce. I'm not saying in my opinion, but it could be. There's a possibility. So we have to look underneath every stone. I went ahead and I sent some stuff to Lowry, and Lowry's
I'm getting it set up right now, just so I make sure I get in the right order here.
Yeah, Lowry's setting it up right now. And thanks, by the way, Lowry, for that.
No
man.
worries.
Me trying to get it onto the screen and do all this and do that, man. I was like, man, my fingers are all over the place. But
yeah, no worries.
So Capitan Rustad has a YouTube channel, but he doesn't make content. And so since he doesn't make content, I mean, we still want to give the brother credit, right? And he did a bang up job in looking at this information. And there we go. Thank you, Shannon Emerson. Bosnia. That's what it is. Bosnia and Herzegovina, old Yugoslavia. Thank you, Riku. So yeah, now I feel totally stupid. But thanks for that. Thanks for that, family. I appreciate y'all.
Yeah. So go ahead.
And so what was I saying? Oh, yeah. So damn, I'm sorry. Now the scrambled
eggs. Did I throw you off? Sorry.
Yeah, a little bit. What's up, Nikki?
Okay. I think I've got these relatively in order. We may have to shift them around a little bit.
I just think, what's happening, brother? It's good to see you, man. It's good to see you. Go ahead.
I was just going to say that I've known Jaron and Whitsitt for a better part of a decade, and
right.
Consider them stand-up dudes, comrades. And in no way am I saying that any of this is true, but we're going to look at everything possible here and let it shake out the way it shakes out. At this point in time in my life, I consider them good friends. But let's have a look at this and see if there's anything to it. This guy obviously did some work to track back and see what actually happened in the middle of June. And you want me to just kind of read through it and I can put it up on the screen?
Absolutely. I think if you did both, just to, if you could do both, that would be amazing. Absolutely.
Okay, hold on a second here. Okay. Window. Okay. Entire screen.
Bear with us, family. In the meantime,
let's see what this brings up.
Rendition of Tie a Yellow Ribbon.
See what that brings up. It wants to be bringing up individual windows.
Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to get that up there.
Is not in order. So hold on a second. I want to make sure that it's this one. I should just be able to share a screen. Take that back down. This is going to be a lot easier if we do it this way. Sure. Let's see. Share. I haven't done it this way in a while. So let's see. That one. Window. Entire screen. Okay. I think this might work. Okay. Try that.
Okay. See what we got.
Okay. Here. So we do. We have that's going to work. So this, because it came through in a text, it's kind of out of order here. So I think we start with this center one here. So I'll go ahead and read some of it.
If you could blow it up a little bit. I know I'm asking for a lot, but
how's that? Getting
all
better?
Right, even better, family. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to Brian Hamilton. What's happening, fam? I didn't want to ignore you or nothing like that. And New World Order. What's happening, brother? It's good to see you, man. It's good to see you. Good to see you. But yes, let's continue. Go ahead. Larry.
Okay. So starts off. TFE is officially busted. For time reference, this message was written in December 13th, 2024. Read carefully. Special Agent Shill Duffy now wants to show us 24-hour moon. And that is exactly what I needed to demolish this whole government psyop to pieces. Last Northern Summer Solstice Day was June 21st, 2024. On that exact day was also the beginning of the full moon phase. And that is the reason for Brazilian flat earthers being denied the trip to Antarctica in 2023. Year 2024 has perfect conditions for this charade to be attempted. So TFE show crew will be on ice from December 14th to December 18th. And if we look at the moon phases this month, we will see that full moon phase begins on December 15th. Now, if we look carefully at the overlapping time gaps of radio silence of the participants in TFE, we will find, and this is where I got to find where that goes to. Just kind of soak that in for a second. I just want to make sure we do this in order. And we'll find, yeah, okay. Okay, here we go. So it's this one here. Sorry, gang, this is just, there we go. So TFE show crew will be on ice from December 14th to December 18th. And if we look at the moon phases this month, we will see the full moon phase begins on December 15th. Now, look carefully at the overlapping time gaps of radio silence of the participants in TFE. We will find time gaps of radio silence around the full moon phase in June. Jeranism, June 19th to June 28th. McKeegan, June 19th to July 3rd. Whitsitt, June 18th to July 17th. Shill Duffy, June 21st to June 24th. McToon, June 21st to June 25th. Critical Think, June 4th to July 3rd. Overlapping time gaps, June 21st to June 24th. Conclusion, TFE show crew was radio silent during the first, second, and third day of full moon phase in June 2024, and they will be on ice in December, also during the first, second, and third day of full moon phase. So this is where he goes through how they're busted in his mind. They filmed the 24-hour sun. Well, this is what he's suggesting that happened. They filmed the 24-hour sun and the moon in the Arctic last summer. That's where he's coming from. So then he goes on to say, now, ladies and gentlemen, I declare. So these are going to be, as I understand it, these are going to be the scenarios that has to be done, or else it's busted. So let's go through these. He's obviously spent some time on this. So, okay. So now, ladies and gentlemen, I declare the season on Shill's Gatekeepers Controlled Op Agents open. Happy hunt. And here is how to spot them. And this is mostly for people listening. So you got more information on this. This is for you. This is just us getting this information out. Anybody who considers this info as asinine, paranoid, schizophrenic, preposterous is busted. Anybody who avoids this message, who refuses to consider or talk about it, is busted. Anybody who pushes 24-hour Antarctica sun as truth without any evidence so far is busted. There are two choices for operators of this PSYOP now. Show us the moon and prove with 100% confidence that you are. Okay, busted. Okay. Show us the sun without landmarks of Union Glacier visible and prove with 100% confidence that you are. What they're saying there is that he's expecting whatever the footage they're going to take. I think that's how I understand this, is we need to see landmarks that look like pictures from Union Glacier, and all the actors have to be in picture. If that doesn't happen, if it looks like it's Arctic, but it doesn't look like Union Glacier Arctic, then he's claiming busted. And that's from Serbia with Love, Kapitan Rastur. I think if that's how you say his name. So there's a lot to kind of process there. Again, I don't have any evidence whatsoever from Jaron or Whitsitt in all the time that I've known them that this is something that they would do. But we're gonna talk about this, and just right now where this sits is that the way that he was able to determine radio silence and or that they were gone was a lack of content creation. That's all we've got. Now, if somebody's got information on where any one of those people were in that time and can vouch for them, then this is done and we can just put this to bed. And so that's kind of me boiling it down. Maybe you have more to say about it.
Oh, man, thinking on that, I mean, this much I could say. The time of the year is that it's summertime. Lord knows, I know Jaron's got kids. What kind of kids? I mean, the young ones, I'm assuming. And so, and it's an assumption. And so, we had Brenda's Creates coming up in here, rattling the cage and stuff like that. Nobody's come to a conclusion, Brenda. Didn't nobody come to a conclusion in here? Didn't nobody say that this is the end all be all? Okay. So
yeah, there are no claims
that,
being, no claims are being made here.
Take that and take your wig and go park that shit somewhere. You know what I'm saying? So what we are saying though is that this is something to consider. The reason I'm mentioning what's his name's kids is because, you know, school gets let out, right?
Mhm.
And so then you might have summer vacations, you might have these things, you might have that things. Now, I'm not trying to give these guys an excuse or a reason, but that's a possibility. But to see these guys go down that are known to be creating stuff like mostly all of the time, you understand what I'm saying? To see them go down, even if they're on vacation, even if they are like without inaccessible for whatever, they would still make something. They would still go live. You know what I'm saying? So I
Yeah.
just find that difficult to believe that not from him doing the research and him being wrong, but I could see that. I could see if there's a possibility that they went somewhere, that they did something together, right?
Mhm.
But then again, I could also see the other side that, yeah, they were out of it because they were tending to their family, that it's summer vacation, that, you know, they have lives outside of the flat earth. I get that part too.
Mhm.
And you know, in a normal world, I would love to believe that. That's where I would park it. That's where I would put my mind, right?
Yep.
But things the way they turn out, we've been lied to before. But before I continue, Truth Trollette, what's going on, sis? It's good to see you. Chris Allen, what's happening, bro? It's good to see you. Tony Coriolis in the house. Crystal Gem, what's going on? It's good to see y'all. Welcome. Enjoy, enjoy.
And
Go
I
ahead,
will
man.
just say again that we are making no claims here. We're just exploring some last second information that's come across the table, and I want somebody to put it to bed for me because these are great friends of mine that I've known for a long time that are down there. So you know, somebody out there in internet land, you know, maybe vouch for at least the location of one of the three flatties. I don't care about those other cats. I don't trust them anyway. If we can vouch for their location where that was, and then we could put this to bed. But this is
Exactly.
yeah, that's yeah, his Captain. I've never met Captain Restor, so I can say that. I've never talked to him in a chat. He may have been in chat, but I don't remember him. But you know, apparently you remember him
Yeah.
from being on your show. Yeah.
Yep. I did. He's come a few times. He's spoken once. It was very interesting what he had to his claims. And so like he's given me this information up to what we've got right now.
Yeah.
And so of course you're going to have the people saying, "No, it's not. No, it isn't something to consider. Why would there be beef between Toon and Jaren if they were colluding? You think you got together months ago, really? They are fighting now." Womp, 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 womp. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nobody trying to hear that shit, man. Brenda,
Uh,
go sit down and go have a sip of water somewhere, man. Ain't nobody trying to hear that nonsense. Go ahead, but Larry, what you was gonna say?
yeah, I was just, you know, there. This is just something to get out on the table, so that we've covered our tracks. And you know, from my perspective, like Jaron and Austin have never given me one reason not to believe anything they've said. And I've known them for a very long time, so
Yeah.
I have no evidence that any of this is true. But I'd like to also air it out. Let's at least entertain it for a hot minute and see what this is, because there's a lot to unpack here. You know, he goes through several scenarios here. He's anybody who considers this info as asinine, paranoid, schizophrenic, preposterous is busted. So I think what he's saying there is like if nobody will even look at it, then they're in on it. I think if I'm boiling that down, and maybe you have a different idea. What do you think about that?
Well, we just saw on Flatsoid's channel where old dude came in hot and mad and
Oh,
yelling at
you're
everybody and
triggered.
saying that, yeah, you guys are hiding stuff and you're terrible researchers and blah 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 blah. You know what I'm saying? And then they had to quiet that shit down quick. So
Mhm,
I mean, yes, we have to be aware of the claims that we make, for sure, for
mhm,
sure, and we have to be careful. But my thing still, and I'm always going to go back to it, is that you've got a very big channel, right? Well,
mhm.
I'm talking about, you know, we know who I'm talking about,
Yep,
right?
yep,
There are
yep,
those that are there right now. They have big channels,
yep.
and with the big channel like that, you have a responsibility, whether you want it, whether you agree with that or not. You have a responsibility to your viewers.
Mhm.
With that responsibility, not only do you have to be careful with what it is you say, be careful with your claims, right?
Yep,
Because they're going to hold your
exactly.
feet to the fire.
You bet.
And then you've got the thing is that with this big channel, you're generating a certain amount of revenue, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, and then we're paying for you to live a particular lifestyle.
Mm-hmm.
So be humble, right? And listen. If they're
Yep.
telling you, hey, man, we feel this way, then you need to listen and you need to explain, hey, look, man, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for, believing in me, but this is what this is, right? And then
Yep.
if they feel that you went to the North Pole and you might have done something, well, motherfucker, you need to pipe up and you need to say something, defend yourself. And
Mm-hmm.
then you've got channels out there, little tiny channel like mine, that's saying what it is I'm saying. And then there are those that like kind of fall in between both worlds, between this channel, Jaren's channel, everybody else's channel, which I'm fine with. You know what I'm saying? If you want
Sure.
to watch his channel, I ain't got no problem with it. But then they understand, but at the same time, they kind of feel bad because they're like, I kind of pay and I kind of buy his merch and and it's like, look, man, at the end of the day, we're just looking for what the truth is,
Yeah,
right?
and this is a
That's
big weekend for it, man. I mean, a
yeah.
big weekend. Like, there's a lot of interest and a lot of activity on, at least in the YouTube world. A lot of people streaming, a lot of people talking about it, and this is as good a time as any to explore this. Again, not making any claims here. Just for those of you who are just tuning in here now, this is just an idea. He says in the second one, is anybody who avoids this message, who refuses to consider it or talk about it, is busted. Okay, so I think he's kind of working off the first one, is if someone's avoiding it or even looking at it at all, that they're busted or they're a part of it. What do you think about that?
Well, I mean, that's a hard stance to take for sure, for sure.
Yeah.
But I could see if they're there and they're like, why would we do something like that? And then they would want to defend themselves by saying that's not true. Because anybody that wants to defend themselves, whether they're lying or not, would say, hell no, I ain't doing that. Right.
Right.
So honestly, we don't know until we see what they filmed. And based off of what it is they filmed and how they went about going about doing their business, I'm not even going to say then we can figure out if they're lying or not. But here's the thing: this much I do know is most of the time, maybe not every time, but a lot of the time, anytime you try to catch us out there, especially these days where we're like on high alert, we catch you. Or if we don't catch you, somebody catches you. So
Mm-hmm.
you need to be careful about the ice that you tread on. You know what I'm
Indeed.
saying? So if you're going to make these stories up, do so at your own peril, right? But if you're going to come out with the truth, then if it's the truth, then it's the truth. Then there's nothing we can do about it. We will
Yep.
continue to dissect your work. We will continue to go over the footage and the evidence because we've got a zillion eyes on it right now. And it
Yeah.
doesn't matter what you say. If we catch you in a lie, then it's a lie. Or if we catch you putting some nonsense in there that doesn't belong in there, then it makes you suspect, and then automatically we lose confidence in you. So this is a season at the end of the day, like still we're in a season, we're in a year where the flat earth has like been turned upside down for the most part,
Mm-hmm.
right? And kind of like Sav said, we're separating the wheat from the chaff.
Yeah.
And a lot of separation is going on. And we've seen a lot of people for who they actually are this time of year, or actually throughout the whole year. But it's a necessary thing.
Hey, Brenda,
Because
this is not our theory. So you're just spreading nonsense in the chat. It's not our theory. This is just something that was passed on to us, and we're exploring it. So stop saying
yeah,
things that are lies in the chat. Okay.
yeah.
Anyway, number
Brenda,
three.
be nice, man. Brenda, be
Yeah.
nice Brenda, chill out, okay? Be nice.
3, anybody who pushes 24-hour Antarctica sun as truth without any evidence so far is busted. So I can speak. I boiled this down several times. So he is suggesting that it's already been filmed, the 24-hour sun, but it was filmed at the Arctic, for those of you who just came in. So he's saying if somebody's pushing it and the 24-hour Antarctic sun is true, then they're involved in it on that one. Thoughts on that one?
Well, I mean, we have to it's hard because now we're at a place where, like I said, man, like I'm having a hard time trusting those guys. And now those are the guys that we have that are representing the flat earth. You understand what I'm saying? And it's like I can't trust them. So whatever they say, they could say the sky is blue, and I'd be like, man, we need to check on that, y'all. You know what I'm
Yeah, yeah.
saying? So like I'm not gonna lie to you. We do have the sun calculator website, but that's still a website. We do have the testimony of people that live in the southern regions that see the sun doing something else, but they don't live in the Antarctic. So really, the only thing we have, the only testimony we could go off of is theirs. And so I'll be honest with you, man. Like I'm at a loss. I really am. I wouldn't know what to believe. And if I said that I believe the flat Earth map, the AE map, then I'd be foolish, because obviously in the southern regions we saw it. They have their sundials pointed in the opposite direction. So then what that means is that the sundial, you know, if the AE map that we're used to seeing, the Gleason's map, right, it works in certain places, in some places, in the northern places, obviously, then it would not work, or it should not work in the southern regions. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah. And it's the declination of you know, you've got the more time zones out further,
Right.
and that's where they run into a lot of navigational issues as well, unless they're, you know, locked into GPS. But especially in the far south, out south, you know, there's it's more problematic navigating. You're using the stars at that point, so you have to be an old-fashioned navigator at that point in time, because it's not so good out there, you know, as far as GPS coverage is concerned.
Exactly.
And you know, there's another thing that throws kind of it hit me weird today, because I just first started hearing about somebody, I think it was Duffy, yesterday, talking about suddenly it's a 24-hour moon. Where was that for the last 6 months? Where was what do you mean about 24-hour moon? What are you even talking about? Suddenly this is hot topic. And then he releases that video today talking about the 24-hour moon, and that tied back into this thing that you sent me from Capitan.
Yes.
And I'm like, wait a minute. Why are we talking about the moon now?
Yes, because my thing is, if we're talking about a solstice, why don't you go during solstice time? Why don't you go from the 18th to, like, say, the 26th or something like that? Yeah, you're gonna have to spend Christmas, you know, during. Hey, what's happening, Nikki?
Hi.
Nikki got that gift wrap hat. That hat look like it's straight out of Macy's, man. Big old Scotch tape hat. Look at that.
Oh no, this is actually an Airbnb guest left it. It's like a Prada bucket hat.
Okay, I like it, man.
How are you, Vlad?
I'm good. I'm good, Nikki. It's good to see you. It's good to see you.
So
go ahead.
just looking back in Facebook profiles, just because, and there's a really interesting prediction from June 25th that I find very strange.
So this is on Jaron's profile from June 25th.
Oh shit.
This would have been in that time window that he's talking about here. It's the best research of the day.
Okay, we're gonna have to add this, but go ahead.
Yeah, best research of the day goes to Banjo for his prediction that I will be resting in peace after Witsit Shill kills me so he can get TV interviews or a movie deal after he says he saw a 24-hour sun in the South.
Oh fuck.
I'm on to your plan. I think this is kind of joking.
It is. Yeah.
This is a joke. Yeah, I'm on to your plan, Austin Witsit. We will see if you land any TV deals now. Become a VIP before I RIP. There's another post, June 17th, which would be in that window.
Right.
Imagine being called a shill for standing for your beliefs. Imagine being called a shill for saying you will follow the evidence. That's the community I'm part of. Oh joy. Fact: the sun circles someone in the north from left to right. I mean, I guess that depends on what you're looking at there. I've seen enough video and spoken to Daryl Marble and Bob Nodell, plus some viewers from Norway and a friend born and raised in Iceland. They all tell me about the 24-hour sun in the north. It's just interesting that on that timing. Yeah. Sun moves left to right during the June solstice. Okay. So you have a post. What you have is a Facebook post of him talking about this exact subject. Now, that being said, he's always talked about this subject all year long.
Yes. You know, and actually, we've got a viewer of ours, Awakened Nemesis, that's usually here, but he's not here right now. But shout out to Awakened Nemesis that basically has gotten me to even put my attention now more towards the north than I do on the south.
So that's just the only thing what was interesting was just the timing of the post. He did a post, but you can do a Facebook post from anywhere. I take that, you know. And then he was talking about the north on June 17th and about the 24-hour sun in the north, which we all kind of think I'm always, the 24-hour sun was never a problem for me in the north. So there's that. I mean, this is like it wouldn't stand up and this from Capitan wouldn't stand up in a court of law right now.
Right.
But there's some curious date ranges there, and this is mostly for the people listening to, like, if you were with Jer or you were with Witsit, during that time period, and exactly where they were, please tell us. We can move on with our life and we can put this to bed. That's all I'm saying. Yeah,
exactly. Because like the last thing, like if I don't trust them, that's one thing. But if I'm wrong, I'd love to be wrong. If I was wrong about them, like, then thank God, right?
Mm-hmm.
But if I'm right that they're rats and you can't trust them because they're lying to us and they're shills, like I'd much rather say liars than shills, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Because shill make it seem like you're like a double agent, or you're in between and you're a liar, right? Much rather say that. And if they're lying to us, then that's going to make me feel a certain way, a little bit more cautious, all of us.
Well,
But
I mean,
for me, it'll
10 years of
exactly
friendship and camaraderie in this community with at least Austin and Jaron. I don't really know Elizabeth well enough to say anything about her, but I would be a little disappointed in myself for not knowing better. Right now, that I don't have any evidence that this happened, but this is, again, we're just exploring this, and we're taking a look at another idea that may become interesting later on. We don't know, or we just put it to bed.
Now this Lisbeth character, she got the ticket because she put in for a pitch to go join the final experiment. Now, what I found funny was let's get our grills up here real quick.
Mm-hmm.
Let's get our grills up here real quick. What I find funny is we've got some. Oh, Lord have mercy. What I find funny is that Brenda, what's happening? What's going on, Brenda?
Yeah, I find myself in the enviable position of defending Jaron and Witsit.
Oh, now you're going to defend Jaron, huh?
We're not attacking Jaron. That's not us. We're presenting something that came across today that was kind of interesting. It was interesting in relation to this sudden 24-hour moon that got talked about today. I probably wouldn't even wanted to talk about this if we didn't have at least a second point of coincidence when he suddenly started talking about the 24-hour moon.
You're speculating at their expense.
I'm not speculating anything here. I'm not making a claim.
We're bringing up evidences that we're bringing up something that it could be a possibility. Nobody knows.
Do you think they went to the North Pole, filmed the 24-hour sun there?
I don't think
saved
anything,
it for now.
Brenda. I don't claim anything. I don't claim anything on this.
Talking about it.
Okay,
no,
we're talking about it.
Yeah.
We're talking about it, not speculating it. We're talking about a thing.
You have a moral obligation then to give both sides.
That's what I'm saying.
This is the first time it's ever been presented.
Here. You better watch out.
So yeah, you have a moral obligation to explore both sides.
And we
certainly
heard
you doing that. I haven't heard you doing
What's
that.
going on, bro? It's good to see you, man.
What's up, Ironworks?
We just got this today, Brenda.
We got Brenda in the house.
And we're looking at it. That's it.
What up, everyone?
Hi, Tony.
What's going on, man?
Sav?
Yo, Lowry. Hey, Vlad. Hey, Sav. And hi, Brenda. Brenda, it sounds nice, and you know what? They're just investigating stuff. I don't feel like any big claims are being made today. No. But I at least like you being a little positive towards Jaron. It's nice to see a little change.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah. I think that he's at least willing to go there and to investigate at the 24-hour sun. And he's right. If it doesn't check out, then the Gleason's map is kaput. Das ist kaput.
Well, Sav, go ahead, man. Break that down for Brenda real quick.
Well, there are no accurate maps at all to begin with. Okay,
that's not true.
Don't interrupt me. I didn't interrupt you. All right. There are no accurate maps available to us. And I will tell you that right now. I have looked into how they establish meridians in the south past the supposed equator and the fuckery that went about with it. The earth is much bigger than even the flat earthers think. That is my contention right there.
Yeah. Well,
okay. Secondly,
we
I
do
don't
have
give
flat
a shit
earth
about a map. and I don't give a shit about a model. You know why? Because it's not going to suddenly make the Earth a globe. Now, I will tell you this right here. This is the one thing, because of the dishonesty involved amongst a lot of players in this. I don't want to see long-range observations and then you explain to me how you don't understand how optics work. So here's what will prove it 100%. 360 degrees around a central point of measurable convexity conforming to the radius value given. Now, you don't even need to have an entire mile for this. All you need is a theodolite, a frozen body of water, and a guy with a marker post to go around and show that measurable convexity 360 degrees around a single point. That's the only thing that's going to prove convexity of the Earth.
What
by the way,
happened?
let's-
What happened, Sav, to your claim that the sun should curve away? You said this
Well,
several weeks
to
ago.
several weeks ago, it should.
Yeah.
But then as I started talking to people with different observations of it, if you watched further, you'll see that I have shifted position on that to where I'm at now with that the Earth is actually much bigger than what we're told.
You were correct
now,
then, and you're incorrect
in other
now.
words,
Let him finish, let him finish.
Brenda, you don't have a gotcha, honey. Just give it up, okay? Okay, you don't have a gotcha.
But you were correct then.
No, I was not. Obviously, I wasn't.
Yeah,
what will
you
happen?
were.
What you know what this will mean if they see a 24-hour sun, Brenda? It will mean
It will.
that there is something that we don't understand about the sun that needs further investigation. It's not going to turn the Earth into a convex ball.
It will
It's not
falsify
going to
your
allow
model.
gas pressure without containment.
It will
It's not
falsify.
going to make gravity real. None of that is going to occur because, once again, the sky has no more to do with the condition of where you're standing than my neighbor's shingles do with the air pressure in my Jeep tires.
Except
okay?
it does, according to the
No,
model.
it doesn't.
It does,
No,
according to the model.
that's your
It absolutely
claim that it does.
according to
But
your
only
model.
an idiot. Do you think that birds flying over you have something to do with the convexity of the Earth or not?
If it was part of my
Do you
model,
think that birds flying overhead have anything to do with where you're standing looking at them
if
from?
they were a logical
I
consequence,
object,
No,
Your
no,
Honor.
no, 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 no,
They
no, no,
would.
no, no, no. Answer
Yes.
the question. Do the
No.
birds flying over your head have anything to do with the
if
condition
they
of
were
where
a
you're standing?
consequence of a
That's only
theory, then
it's
the
only
answer
one or
is
two
yes.
answers. It's only one or
No,
two
so
answers,
then
Brenda.
why
It's
even
either a
ask the
yes
question
or
if
a
you won't
no.
let me
And
answer?
none of you dishonest shit-tards can ever just answer a yes or no question. You
Yeah,
never
because-
can.
because it's
You always
a
have to have a
loaded question.
soliloquy of excuses
Stop.
to defend your scientifically impossible globe-tard
You
position.
can't prove that. I could prove
I
you wrong
can.
easily. No, you can't.
I can. You still haven't successfully proven gas pressure without containment, Brenda. You told
Yes,
me
I
about
have.
a guy rolling a fucking barrel down a ramp, dude. Come on.
Gas pressure doesn't
Yeah.
require container.
Yes, it
because
does.
of gravity.
Yes, it does. Otherwise,
Because
you don't
of
have
gravity.
any gas pressure at
So
all.
predictable.
Brenda, come on,
So
man.
I
Come on, you better than
I don't
this
know why
one.
Saab wants to rehash past debates. I
Because
wanted,
you lost then and you're losing now.
yeah, whatever. It doesn't
Brandon.
matter. I can
Hey, yo.
grant all of that and still say, I don't think that Jaron and Whitsitt are colluding with McToon
Well, that's fine.
to,
You don't have to.
deceive you. I
Yeah, I
that's
don't think
just
that either. I don't
ridiculous.
think that either.
We're not
Okay,
going
okay,
to that
okay.
either.
You know what?
I did
It
kinda
sounds
hop
like
on.
you're awful. It sounds like me thinks the lady doth protest too much. I really do.
Hey, Saab? No, I'm not.
Yes,
protesting
you
too
are.
much.
Yes, you are.
Hey, Brenda,
Just
out
like
of
you did when you
curiosity,
said,
do you
I
watch
would never
McToon?
do something like that to you on your channel or
I
whatever.
wouldn't.
And we know full well that you did because that's what you
I did
first
what?
came out with.
What are you talking about now?
Hey,
All right.
Brenda, just out of curiosity, do you watch McToon regularly or anything?
Yeah, I do.
Oh, okay.
Nathan.
I'm a member of his show.
Yeah, I just didn't know.
Yeah, I give him super chats. I gave him super chats the other time he had a live show. Yeah,
Yeah,
I've
wouldn't
met
watch
with
it.
him.
I wouldn't watch it personally. But hey, I kind of just hopped
I-
on to ask
I love it.
Lowry and Vlad, what were you guys saying? What's the thing with
I
Duffy
don't
talking
know.
about the moon? nowadays.
Oh,
Yes, out of nowhere, suddenly the moon became the subject for the final observation, final experiment,
Yes.
whatever you want
Which
to call
I
it.
find weird because honestly, you know, I do the Tony Coriolis thing. I call into shows. I've been talking moon a lot, like lately, and I don't think Duffy's watching any shows. Like Brenda, just another out of curiosity thing, Brenda. How much of the Speaker's Corners do you watch? Like, have you heard any of my calls per se, Brenda? Have you?
In the past month or month and a half or so, I haven't been watching Jaron much at all.
Ever?
Yeah.
Have you ever heard?
Oh
one of
yes,
my
I have.
callings,
Oh
Brenda?
yes, absolutely. You've called in the Jaron show many times.
Okay. I was just curious on that. I just, analyzing. But okay, no, I just find it weird. And so what does Duffy think? Because I heard the moon's not going to be up there until like the 21st, 22nd. Did you guys hear anything on that, or what's the word?
Specifically,
That's weird.
he said specifically that it didn't have to do with their observations on the glacier in Antarctica now. He said he didn't predict that there would be a 24-hour sun then and now.
It's
Right?
not what
He specifically said that. Didn't you listen?
No, I'm saying about Duffy with the moon thing. That's just what I'm talking about. You know what I mean? And I just know I asked Duffy. I said, "Hey, what's going to happen with the moon?" And he said the moon's not going to be up. Has he been waiting to release that? I don't know. I got to go watch his video. I guess
he just talked about it freshly within the last 48 hours.
Yeah. The moon isn't going to be up. The sun is going to be up 24 hours, the whole time they're there, and for several weeks afterwards. And then we are going to have a talking point, to use Globers. We're going to have a talking point.
Brenda's speaking French now.
You really think you're in a club, don't you, Brenda? You think you're in some kind of a clique or a club or something, don't you? You know, you're really you're a DEI member. You're a DEI member of any panel, basically. That's all you are.
Nice try. So
no, it's not a try. You are. The only reason people allow you to come on is because they're afraid that you're going to start calling, bigotry and all your other bullshit that you do and everything. You're a DEI panel member. Okay.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Great. That's great. Good job, Saab. Good job.
Thank you.
Well,
thank you.
Good
DEI
job, buddy. Keep it up, buddy.
Panel member.
Keep it up.
I was really hoping for your approval.
Well, I mean, we try to get. I want to get Brenda's perspective on here, even though sometimes, Brenda, you're a little bit tough to deal with, man.
So Vlad, I'm happy to do that. What?
I'm just saying, man. I was like, you're a little bit tough to deal with sometimes, but the thing is, your opposition point of view. So my thing is, yes, every once in a while, like we need to mix it up, right? Despite how we may feel about Brenda sometimes,
Vlad,
it's
I
like
haven't mixed it up with you. I haven't been mean and rude to you, have I?
Yeah, you have, but at the same time, it's
I don't recall being. I don't
on
recall
here saying that I'm a liar and stuff like that. What I'm talking
that's
about,
true.
It's not being about mean or rude or nothing like that. It's about getting a different perspective.
That's just
the polar opposite perspective. And so my thing is I want to welcome it, right? No matter how much we despise it sometimes, or no matter how much we may feel different about the person talking about it, I want to hear what it is, right?
Yeah. But I've told you many times how little regard I have for your opinions.
Well, then why the fuck are you here?
Yeah.
That's a
why
perfect example.
Why do you want to make it so that everybody is forced to listen to your bullshit? You want to pop in where you're not wanted all the time, and it's not important to you, but you make it a point to make your appearance known every fucking time. Does that make sense to you?
Yeah, it's fucking hilarious.
No, it's not hilarious.
It really is. It really is. It's fucking hilarious.
It's extremely pathetic.
This is better.
No, it's extremely pathetic,
Holy
Brenda. You really got to really do some self-evaluation, pal. I mean, for real. You who does that? Who does that? I'm going to go somewhere where nobody fucking likes me, and then I'm going to force myself upon them. And if they don't like me, then I'm going to scream bigotry.
Holy shit!
That's a psychopath right there, man.
No,
I'm sorry. There ain't no other words for that.
Surprised?
You can cry. You can keep
Nobody's
going.
crying.
It can't
but-
be positive
I'm
for
just
you, Brenda. If you
amazed.
think about just living life, just
Oh yeah.
chill and positive. I mean, how is that positive? It's kind of counter positive. Do you not kind of see that, or how I would see it like that?
Do you want the actual truth? The truth is, the truth about me is
Oh,
that when I watch flat Earth videos and stuff, I wonder about what mistakes they made, and then I go and do research about it, and I find out what exactly the mistake made, and then I'm happy. And so I've been doing that for a long
Well, if
time.
you-
I'm taking
okay, if you've
classes. I'm
seen-
taking classes from Professor.
Sure,
Right?
Brenda.
Yeah.
Just, I will give. Can I just
Professor
ask you
who?
then?
Professor
latest-
X.
The latest Jaron Collins show, I called in. Can you
Phil,
show
Professor
me my
Phil.
mistake then? I'd love to hear it.
What? I'm sorry.
Any
I
of
was.
my calls. Show me one of my mistakes. I
I
mean,
don't recall.
what mistake
You're
am I
not
making?
that memorable, dude.
Well, it's
I'm
not
fine
about
with it.
being
I'm
memorable.
not
It's
anything
about
famous. I know, but I just
Yeah.
call into shows. For example,
I don't remember.
where would I have a mistake in my logic? Like, I'd love to be shown something
Yeah.
that I'm logically not.
I
getting.
should do videos about
Well,
stuff because I don't.
Brenda-
I have a YouTube channel and I have one of them has videos on it, but it's about atheism versus theism. But my creates channel doesn't have anything, right?
Well, Brenda,
so-
I mean, you have to remember why we're here. All of us, you may think that the flat earth thing is a farce. You could think that. That's cool. But our thing is we're just looking for the truth. That's all we want.
But
That's
you
really all we
say
crave.
that, but you aren't. That's
So,
what's
like
so
I was saying-
That's your
amazing.
opinion,
That's
man.
what's so
Like,
amazing.
again,
That's your opinion.
That's your
you
opinion.
say those things,
So
but
that's your opinion based on
deny
your
actual
perception.
science.
You are
Yes,
a victim of perception deception, Brenda.
Yeah. Yeah. So
That's what it comes down to. You're a victim of perception deception. And you think that everyone else has to be a victim of perception deception like you, or they're not swimming the right way down the stream. You
What's
see?
perception deception?
Perception deception. Okay. You will believe material based on your perception of those that presented it to you rather than the validity of it, of the argument itself.
It's a good
That's
point.
okay.
It's a good point,
Incorrect.
Soph.
Incorrect.
No,
And
that's
just-
absolutely correct.
but I
You
was just
topped
telling
out. Let
you
me tell
that.
you something. The highlight, the peak of your life was school. Okay, that
Was
was it.
I'm sure
Yeah.
you don't know anything about me.
Yeah, that was the peak of your life. That's why you have such an unwarranted faith in academia.
Are you sure about that?
Yes.
Yes.
100%.
yeah. So
Based
the
on
thing-
what? Based on what? You don't know anything about my life.
Your behavior. We see all the time in all
Yeah,
the
but
But
streams.
that
You do the
doesn't
same
mean
thing.
anything. You can't
Yeah.
make those kinds of
You're
inferences
worse than
from
a
behavior.
Jehovah's Witness. You're worse than a Jehovah's Witness. You knock
can't-
on doors of houses that nobody wants you to knock on and then want to force your fucking bullshit on them. That's that you're like a Jehovah's Witness. You're not any different.
Okay. Are you going to cry? Are you going to
No,
cry?
I'm
No,
laughing
we don't
at you
want you to
because you
cry.
don't even realize
Right.
how ridiculous
But the-
you are.
But the
So
truth-
my
the truth
opinions
is,
are
Brenda,
based
is that-
entirely
Your
on logic,
opinions are based on your
based on
actions.
logic, and
Logic.
I work these things
There's no
out
logic.
logically
No
and
logic.
scientifically
But
on
Brenda-
my own, and then I don't make videos about it. I'm just good with that.
Okay, Brenda, but you can't say that you're using logic
I
and then
can.
turn around and then you're going to call yourself a she when you're in fact a he. That
No,
doesn't make
I
any
am
sense.
transgender,
Oh, all right, I don't look, man.
Right?
Sure.
right?
All right,
Gender
man.
isn't sex, right?
Oh,
So it
Lord have
isn't
mercy.
a logical contradiction, is it? Right?
left.
Because gender isn't
left.
the same as sex.
I'ma tell
is it,
you
right?
Let me tell you something.
No, see
You,
how
Brenda.
see
See,
how
I don't know what
you
you're.
don't.
No,
Vlad,
Brenda.
see
it's
I think
how
we've
you
used up
don't
the Brenda
want
time
truth.
today.
Brenda.
You don't want the truth, even though
No,
you
we
said a
want the
minute ago
truth.
you
That's the
do,
thing.
and
We
I
do.
Yeah,
just
but your
informed
opinion's
you.
not truth,
I'm
Brenda. Your opinion
transgender,
is not
and
rooted
I'm
in
not
science.
confused about
You're
sex.
not confused.
I'm not confused about sex, right?
Hmm.
Transgender has a meaning, and it
What does it
doesn't,
mean?
and
called,
it isn't
it's called
contradict
fucking
sex.
crazy. It's called
That-
crazy.
That's
okay?
not logic. That's your
Yes,
emotions.
That's called
Then-
crazy.
That's
That's called crazy.
called
If I
your
think I'm a rutabaga,
emotions.
if I
Right.
identify with a rutabaga, I'm fucking crazy. Okay.
I'm a dinosaur, dog. What you talking
All
about?
humans. All
Hey,
humans have a
Brenda.
gender.
Well, I'm a
Brenda,
thesaurus.
when you said you guys want to know the truth, and then you said that you like to watch these flat Earth videos to see when we'd make a mistake. What makes like just you as a person think that you can call out other people's mistakes? I mean,
Why not?
how is that positive? You know what I mean?
Because flat Earth harms the truth.
Sure
you
it
get
does.
triggered
Tell
by it.
lies.
Come on.
All right. Well,
Brenda,
let me
They
ask you a
deceive
question,
people.
Brenda.
They deceive
Brenda.
people.
Brenda, let
You
me
get
ask
triggered
you a
by it,
question.
Brenda.
Do
I
you
think you
think
just get
that
triggered by it.
astronomy?
Triggered?
Do you think that astronomy is science?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay,
it
then
is.
you're retarded.
Am I? How so?
Yeah.
Prove it.
You want to
Prove
tell me what they do that's scientific? What do they test? How do they test it? What do
can't
they
test
do that's
nothing.
not
it. They make
pseudoscience?
observations. They have
Observations
hypotheses that make-
alone, observations are not
It's-
fucking science.
They
It's a
absolutely
part of it.
are. That's
Oh, no, it's a
And don't
part
say-
of it.
it's
and
literally
yeah, and
it's
Brenda-
literally
Brenda,
it's
Brenda,
literally the
My
scientific
arm
method.
is a part of my body, but my arm is not my
See,
body, right?
See,
It's
you
the same
bought.
thing.
So
It's the
do I
same
get to
thing.
say anything
It's
here?
either
or
you
not?
are using science or you're not.
do I get to say anything?
Observation is only one part of the scientific method.
Who made
That's
you
where
in
does it ever
charge?
go beyond that?
Saab, who made
What?
you in charge of what is and isn't
Well,
science?
wait, does it follow the scientific method?
Who made
Astronomy.
you in? Who
Right.
put you in charge of what is or isn't
Wait,
science?
no, does
Saab?
astronomy follow the scientific method or not?
Yes, it is science.
Okay, what beyond the observation
Science
do
is
they
the
do?
systematic study of the natural world. That's all
Right,
it means.
which requires more than just observation.
No, it
Brenda.
doesn't.
Yes,
Whoa,
it
yeah,
does.
strong there.
All right,
Yes.
All you
all
have
right,
to-
Brenda.
To count to
Yes.
science, all you'd have to do
Yes. No.
is collect beetles
No.
and typify them.
No.
That is
No.
science. That's called
No.
what
I hope
No,
you didn't
that's
spend too
called
much money on
bug
your
counting.
education.
biology.
That's called bug counting.
that's
Until you
science.
test,
That's science.
until you do testing and beyond just the observation and looking at and naming, there has to, in order to find
You're
out what's
not
going
in-
on, these things have to be tested.
You are not in charge of science. Saab.
I know
Nobody
that.
claims
I'm
to be
going
Then you
by
have no
science.
say.
I'm
Then
going
you have
by
no
science.
say.
Wait
No,
a
you're
second.
not.
Wait,
You're
you're
lying.
trying to define science by eliminating the
Because
scientific
I've
method.
actually read.
No, you're eliminating
philosophy
the
of
scientific
science.
method and calling something science
I've
that is not
actually
science.
read.
You read
science.
I don't give a fuck what you
I
read.
have.
What do they
That's-
do other than
it's called-
observation? Tell me what science do they do? What is
Science
do they do that's
is a
scientific?
systematic study of the natural world,
Elden
including
Ring.
people. Including
Okay,
Fish
can
people.
you do that
Studying
just
people
by
is
looking?
science.
Squirrel in the
Yeah,
house.
but you can interact with people, Brenda.
What's
How
happening,
can you
homie?
be looking at stuff in the sky and call that?
Because you can
Oh,
interact
I made
with
up a
it.
story about the shit that I saw in the sky, and that must be science now.
Because you can interact with it. You can
How do you
develop
interact with it? How do you
by
interact
making
with it?
repeated observations and
That's,
experiments.
so what? You're watching a pattern. Okay.
Yeah. So
So
what?
Brenda,
So what?
Brenda, I got a real quick question for you. All those observations that we've done and we've actually performed when it comes to the lake, right? The laser tests over the lake,
The lake?
laser tests over a frozen lake, laser tests over
oh.
land, the observations, right, of the guys with the binoculars looking at a distance, these mountain ranges of what, close to 700 miles. That's not science.
It's badly performed science because you failed to take in refraction into account.
Oh, my bad.
Refraction.
Oh, okay.
There we
All
go.
right.
I think it's so.
Yeah.
It's
But
But I
Brenda
can
time
just
is
look
up.
up in the
Brenda for the
sky.
win, y'all.
Hold on.
Brenda
And
for
you
the
know
win.
who else
Predictable.
can take refraction or diffusion or any other light characteristics
Why would you
into
take
account?
diffusion
The,
into account?
the beloved Eratosthenes. He didn't take any of that into account either.
That's right.
Did he? That's
That's
right.
right.
Yeah.
That's why his
Uh-huh.
observations were
Yeah.
not as precise as
What
ours are today.
observations? He did one observation. You can't do science by having one fucking observation and just saying, "Well, there it is."
He compared the.
He didn't compare
Stele-
anything. He did it one time, Brenda.
He compared a stele to a well in Siena.
Oh, Brenda,
Yeah.
hey,
Brenda.
Brenda, yo, Brenda, you've got 15.
What do you
actually,
mean?
we're gonna give you
What
30
do you mean?
seconds.
What do you mean?
Please
Land
give
the
your
plane, Brenda.
conclusion because we have
What
to get
was
back on track.
what was unscientific about Eratosthenes?
Brenda, you
law?
got 28 seconds.
Well, let's see. He assumed first off that the Earth was a sphere, and went
No,
off
he
to measure-
already knew it was a sphere.
No,
Brenda,
Yes,
you got
he
19
did.
What
seconds.
It was
first-hand
based on
observation? Hold on,
Pythagoras
Brenda.
and
What
Aristotle.
what
Okay.
first-hand observation did he have of a globe Earth?
It's shadow on the moon.
No, that's not a first-hand observation
Yes,
of a
it
globe
is.
Earth. That's an
Yes, it is.
assumption.
No,
That's
it's not.
an
Shadows
assumption,
aren't
Brenda.
assumptions.
That's
Peace
an
out, Brenda.
Shadows aren't
assumption.
Brenda,
assumptions.
we love
an
you, man. Yo, be
assumption.
safe. God bless you. And yo, be safe this holiday. Be good.
I'm
Just be
just
safe,
fine.
all right, Brenda? Yo, we
Yeah,
got to get
thank
back
you
on
for
track,
the
though.
free
Yeah, let's do
entertainment.
it.
You got it. Peace,
Jesus
Brenda.
Christ.
It's been real.
Fictitious
Next
Greeks
time,
and their
Dominic.
goddamn assumptions. Holy shit.
All right.
Okay, I think I can bring it back in here.
Yeah, now we getting back. We getting back.
You almost have to take a shower after that.
Yeah, Brenda be wilding out, but
Yeah, it's
real
always
talk.
it's
Real
always
talk.
the basic responses too. You know.
Yeah, it's
So predictable.
Brenda just wild as hell, man. Makes things.
Well, I mean, I did ask her if she watches McToon. I mean, that would kind of explain why we're getting all the basic responses.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, if you're watching those videos every day, come on.
Yeah, she does. I mean, these guys are done. I don't know where they're gonna go. I don't know what they're gonna do science-wise, like real science-wise, from this point. But it kind of we'll get back on track with the discussion, but it kind of brings something that graced my email here a little bit ago. I want to show this to you guys. I don't know if you guys are familiar, but Donald Trump wants to put in charge a gentleman of NASA, a guy by the name of Jared Isaacson. You guys familiar with this name?
No.
I've heard about it. Yeah.
So Jared Isaacson, no, Isaac Min, excuse me, not Isaacson, Isaac Min. All right. Pay attention to the name. Pay attention to this individual. I did a little bit of research on him, and just as I suspected, I'm not gonna go into what I finally knew about this dude just by hearing his name. But
I know that's what I do.
I'm sorry. But let's see what the latest was about him. And this is from the Daily Mail. All right, so I don't know if you guys are familiar with the Daily Mail. I get, stuff from them from time to time, but let me go ahead and stop flapping my gums and just show it to you guys.
So and real quick, what's the irony behind having a channel called Brenda Creates that has no videos on it? Irony.
Really? Are you serious? Yeah. Hold on. No, man. I thought I had it in there. Oh, okay. Nope. It's not from the Daily Mail. I apologize, y'all. It's from this thing, the News Journal. Oh man. I hope they didn't. Okay, there it is. Let's go back to it. There it is. Okay, I apologize, y'all. Bear with me. So it's from the Daytona Beach News Journal. So I don't know if you guys could see it. Can you guys see it?
Yep.
Okay. Billionaire. And I love how this man is putting all these extra rich people with an agenda. If you guys don't notice, these extra rich people with an agenda. Trump, NASA appointee Jared Isaacman urges ERAU, right? And I think it's Embry-Riddle Aeronautical University, Embry-Riddle, grads to embrace moonshots. So automatically made my ears stand up, right? And this was published today. Okay. Failure isn't a roadblock, and he continues, failure isn't a roadblock. It's a foundation of the future success. Totally agree. Billionaire spacewalker Jared Isaacman told Embry-Riddle, blah, 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 blah. So this guy is in the cabal. Billionaire, but at the same time, he's quote unquote visiting space as well. 3 months ago, billionaire spacewalker Jared Isaacman viewed the Earth from farther away than any human in 52 years. Automatically, red flags.
Yeah.
That's what I'm seeing. On Thursday, Isaacman gazed upon a sea of black, blah, blah, blah. After years, Embry-Riddle, years of lectures, studying, albeit not daunting, spacewalk. He described the 2020s as a new age of space innovation after 3 decades of drought with SpaceX, right? So I find this funny because what the claim now is that you guys already heard some of the latest from space, yes? A lot of you guys were mentioning it. Artemis is kicking the can right down the road. A couple more years.
Yep.
They're at it again. Blue Origin and Rocket Lab, the autonomous piloting of a helicopter. So this guy's also a pilot. I guess as a astronaut, that's one of your, I guess you could say, claims to fame is that you tend to be a pilot as well, fly stuff. Discovery satellites, discovering new capabilities. The James Webb Space Telescope offering glimpses beyond the solar system and into other galaxies, which this is what I find. Let's talk about that James Webb Space Telescope real quick. What I find funny about that telescope, right? They're claiming that it could see light years and light years into the past, into the future, whatever, right? But they can't give us that eclipse that we were looking for. That's one. They can't give us this Parker space probe that's over there flying towards the sun, which there's news about it right now because we're so close to the sun, right? They can't give us that. They can't give us this thing that was in the sky the last few weeks, a couple of months back. They can't give us that comet that was in the sky. They can't even give us these drones that happen to be on the earth, right? These drones that they're like, oh, we don't know what they are. We don't know what they're from. They're Iranian, they're Syrian, whatever. They can't seem to do any of this stuff, but it could do all of this magical stuff in the total opposite direction of what the earth is. I find this to be totally bizarre. And
I like how you say it doesn't show us anything, because really, I mean, you remember that story a little bit ago about the mini moon that came around?
Oh, yeah.
Okay,
right.
How big was that thing? And what, they happened to see that thing going, and then they're letting us know?
Oh,
and they
by
give
the
it
way,
the
there's a
name
moon.
Mini moon? Like, how stupid. It's all stupid. But then I want to say, too, when you guys were talking drones, maybe yesterday or something, or maybe it was on Sobs.
It was Wednesday. It was Wednesday
stream.
on Sobs, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, you guys were talking drone. The drone stuff, I mean, I really think there is a drone above all the drones that no one's talking about. Like, they have everything surveilled. Like, does no one remember that one movie, Eagle Eye? You know how, like, Shia LaBeouf or whatever, he's just always being watched by, like, there's a drone like that exists, but no one talks about it. You guys heard anything on? It's called the Gorgon Stare. Ooh. You ever heard of that?
It sounds fascinating, though. That name
sounds like it's something that turns you into stone.
I am Gorgon.
It's a mega drone that sits above all the major cities, and I'm telling you, it's not like you can ask a cop, like, "Hey, how do you get the feed for that?" or blah blah blah. But if anything goes down, someone has access to it. I don't know who. We live in such a world nowadays. You know, could anyone even send a drone? You know, that wouldn't be noticed. It's all noticed. You know, it's all whoever's in control. It's a weird game nowadays. It's so weird. Yeah.
That's crazy. That I've never heard of. But before we continue, guys, Professor Phil Bell is a Glober, yes, but he's also civil, right? So he's got an opposing opinion as to what it is we have. We need to leave Professor Phil alone, along with I Am Wilson. These guys, yes, they're Globers, and we think Globers are a little bit off. That's okay. They have a differing of opinion. That's all right. We need to let these guys ride out, because a little bit of a difference of opinion, there's nothing wrong with it, especially if you're being civil. Let them live, right? Let them. They're not getting wrenches, okay? They are not getting wrenches. That you ain't got to worry about.
How come I ain't got a wrench? What's up with that?
Now, thank you, Saab, because I'm gonna fix that here in a little bit. You gotta let me marinate a little bit, man. You gotta let me marinate. You know what I'm saying? But guys like Professor Phil, I Am Wilson, and even, yes, I know, guys, hold your horses, but even Brenda, we gotta let them kind of be them. Now, I Am Wilson and Professor Bell, they tend to be a lot more civil than Brenda, yes, but you know, we have to let them do their thing, and we have to let them, you know, just be in the chat, right? And then they'll ultimately get it. They will ultimately get it. So
I agree. That's respectable.
You know, so next time Professor Phil comes in here, you know, licking his wounds and stuff, we just need to let him kind of ride out.
Sob, I don't know if you caught the first half of. Did you catch the first of the episode when we were talking about that email from Capitan Rastur?
I come in like right as you were just finishing up with that. I was just still over on Flatsoid, and I got off of there and then came over here. I think he was only in going, well, I had it muted over here playing, so I was here, but I couldn't hear it until after I got off of flat side. So
anyway,
no.
This one came over. Yeah, it came over to Vlad, and again, I'm if you came in late, I know Jaron and I know Whitson. I've known him for almost a decade, and they haven't given me any evidence to the contrary that they're going to do anything bad on this thing. But anyway, I had it pulled up, but basically to boil it down, really, you want me to pull that back up? I think
yes, please.
Yeah, go ahead and pull it up so they can read it. So you can it's kind of out of order, but I'll give you, a quick rundown. Essentially, this Capitan went back to June and tried to find out where the primary players for TFE were at, where they were, like, were they around, were they in the States, were they. Essentially, what he did was he went back into their content and they went what he was calling radio silent for a certain stretch in June. And some of them, were different times of the month, but they all overlapped between June. I think it was June 10th to the 15th. I want to make sure I get this right. So it's right here. So the overlapping times of radio silence in June were June 19th to June 28th for Jaronism, McKeegan, June 19th to July 3rd, Whitsitt, June 18th to July 17th.
Oh, yeah, I was catching that shit. Yeah, it's interesting theory. Interesting theory, man. I mean, listen, I don't throw nothing off the table.
Right.
Really. And in this right now in 2024, and it's like, look, I know this person, I know that person and stuff. That's great. I never thought my first wife would fuck around on me either, but guess what? So, there's that. I mean, come on. I can't throw anything out the window. Now, am I saying that they would do this or anything else? Well, I would hope not.
I would be disappointed.
I certainly would too,
Yeah, totally.
But the reality of it is that in like Lowry and Vlad, I live close to Vlad. I still want Vlad to come and stay for a weekend, and we'll go to the book fair down here, Green Valley Book Fair.
Yes,
you have a blast.
Just don't bring the fangs.
Yeah, right. Yeah, keep them fangs home, man. Blackie. Come on, Blackie. Look, we ain't gonna go like that.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, in all reality, and I've and Mike from Truth or Hour of Comedy, he came here and stayed with me, and we went to the dwarf wrestling over in Woodstock. Man, had a blast, and but as far as like, how well outside, I mean, my biggest interaction with most of the people are on YouTube. Mm-hmm. A lot of times it's like that character over on Flat Sword goes, well, you go on Jaron's show that he does. And I'm like, yeah. How does that mean that I'm like in bed with him or whatever? It's almost like if somebody were to think that the people that are on some talk show that you watch, maybe, they all just hang out with each other all day and all weekend and shit. No, they're just fucking coworkers, At the end, and like I said, I interact well with Jaron. He's got a great sense of humor. He's got that dry sense of humor. I like that dry sense of humor where he just, he's acting like he's serious, but you can tell it's sarcastic shit. I do the same thing, right? Mm-hmm. And so, yeah, he's got his views. I've got mine, man. Are they totally identical? No. And especially on things that we don't really know about. I have my theories. He's got his theories. And what's cool about that is that I'm not going to say my theory is the one that's right. I'm going to go, hey, wait a second. I'm seeing maybe it's some of what you're saying and some of what I'm saying. Maybe we're just looking at which end of the egg to open. Let's break that fucker in the middle and find out what's really in it. Right.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. And I probably wouldn't even have agreed to like cover this story, except that moon stunt that suddenly Duffy's pulling now. Now it's about the 24-hour moon. This happened at the same time that this happened. And so that's what set this guy off on this tangent of I guess a suggestion that it might be this because of the 24-hour moon thing that just popped up out of nowhere in the last 48 hours from Duffy. And now he's I don't know what this says. He did not talk about it in the previous months, anything about observing the moon. There was none of that. And then this came up. So I was like, well, okay, we'll take a look at it, see if there's anything here to soak in. And that's what this is for, guys out there listening. I'm Jaron and Whitsitt haven't done anything to dispel my confidence. And that's the evidence I have right now. And if they did, I'd be disappointed, but that's what we're talking about. So I was kind of going through the numbered reasons why it would be busted. And I think we got down to, and when we went through the first one, anybody who considers
you want me to blow it up a little bit?
Yeah, you can blow it up a little bit.
All right.
And we went through the first three. And when we got to four, there are two choices for the operators of this PSYOP now. One, show us the moon and prove with 100% confidence that you are. And that shows, he says that shows that they're busted. I'm not exactly sure what he meant by that one, but I do understand this one. Show us the sun without landmarks of the Union Glacier visible and prove with 100% confidence that you're busted. So I think what he's talking about there is that he's positing that they shot the 24-hour sun already in June in the north. And that if it looks like it's on ice, but you can't really tell, that's what he's saying. So, I mean, there's some points there. Maybe you guys could expand on it. That's all I got. I wish I had a little more time to boil it, but this came up today, and go with it, guys. Whatever you think.
Yeah. No, I think it would be a dead giveaway that they deceived us if they're filming and then you see a big old sign that says "Welcome to the Iditarod" or something like that, and then it's like, oh man, these guys got caught.
Don't they have to do truth in plain sight? That would be kind of funny.
Well, weren't they supposed to have a dinner tonight?
Yes.
Yeah.
And then they're going to go get on their, they're going to pack up tomorrow and be getting ready to go on the plane. And they're going, what, Saturday? Or
yeah, no, they're live streaming tonight after dinner. So we're going to grab that.
Yeah. I'm going to go live tonight, maybe too.
Yeah.
I don't know, we'll see.
And then I did get a piece of information. I don't think you were on here yet, Sav. Darren he did get back to me, and he did observe the sun yesterday, midday. He said it's sometime like, I think he said noon. Let me just check. And this is when I was talking about getting I see the sun at this part of the sky here in New York City. And I said it was roughly, it was southwest, and I checked the compass. It was roughly southwest, and it was at 45 degrees into the sky. And then I had Antarctic Monkeys in Denver. He looked at it from Denver, and it was about where I would expected he would see it. It was southeast of him. And so we just roughly said it's got to be somewhere like up over the Gulf or, South Texas, Louisiana, somewhere in there would be what we would suspect the apparent position of the sun would be. Well, Jaron got back to me today finally, and I asked him, I said, did you see the sun today or yesterday? He said he did yesterday, and he was looking northward. So that was the big one that I wanted to get to make sure that the sun's in between New York City and Punta Arenas. And he said northward. I don't know how much, but definitely northward. So that's something to chew on.
Okay.
And now we just got to find out. I wanted them to do where it's set. And I think we're going to get that information tonight. Did it set going in a southwesterly position as if going the other direction? Because that would be weird. That would be weird because then, I'm looking at the same sun he is allegedly, right? And that sun is in the middle of New York and Punta Arenas, right? And that's about where he saw it looking northward from down there, out there. So it's got to choose at some point in time to either go one way or go the other. And I think that's kind of the burning question right now. Make any sense?
Yeah. Golly, man.
Yeah.
Go ahead. I didn't want to steal anybody's thunder.
Yeah, well, that's where the rubber meets the road. And I contended yesterday that they don't even need to go to Antarctica; that they can get what they need from right there.
And right, you could even go to Ushuaia, or I would think that you could go down to Ushuaia. That's so far down south, and you're still well within, civilization's stuff that you should be able to see what you need to see over there. But then again, if they're making a claim about this 24-hour sun, right? Then go to the limit. Go to the limit. Hell, if you could go to the southern pole that you claim exists, go there. Give us a freaking mark, right? Or as to where the southern pole is, and then we'll figure the rest out from there.
Oh, here's another one.
To do that, they're gonna go close.
Yeah, here's some awesome, Matt. I don't know you in the chat, but he says there was a Globebusters hosted by Jaron and also on June 23rd, which would lie in the middle of
Of the 23rd and the 24th, 21st and the 24th, right in the middle.
Yeah, Jaron's was June 19th to June 28th, according to Capitaine Rastor.
Right.
And so we look at, this is why we do this stuff, man. So like, if you guys find something, please, we can put it to bed and just walk away from it.
Exactly.
He said they hosted a Globebusters. Now we don't know whether it was pre-recorded or if you could host Globebusters technically from anywhere in this place. Yeah. So if we can figure out that he's in his studio on that, then we can put this to bed right now. If he's in a studio, it aired live on June 23rd. That just blows this right out of the water.
Yes.
So there you go. Exactly. If anybody finds anything else, please share it. That's why we did this. Share it in the chat. We've got some other evidences that they were around. Please share, because I like to get these out of the way and out of my mind.
Yes.
You know
Last thing, I mean, no matter how much I distrust many of those folks, I don't want it to be that obvious either. Like, I really, really don't. I just hope it's not. And if, like he said, if we could go ahead and we could show that he was wherever, at some point, anywhere but where these claims are possibly putting him or them, then yeah, that'll make this thing go away a little bit faster.
Yep.
Whew, man.
Lots to talk about. Lots of things.
There's a lot going on, man. There's a lot going on, and this doggone experiment, this quote unquote experiment, is just making things very interesting, man. More interesting than they need to be, I think.
I mean, I'm kind of like giddy. I just want any bit of data I can get out of them. These two live streams they've done so far really haven't told us much. It's just kind of them bullshitting, and there's the drama around the dinner table last night. I just want them to show stuff. I wanted them to show stuff during the day today. I wish they would have. But I do get a call from Jaron tomorrow at, I believe, he just got back to me. So he's going to call me at noon my time, and I'll do a sun observation. I'm going to shoot through a polarized lens. I don't have a solar filter. But if anybody out there, wherever you're at, if you can shoot the sun in a solar filter from wherever you're at, doesn't matter. And be able to show with a compass, which way you're better to videotape. Show the compass, preferably a real compass, not your phone compass, and then pan up to the sun. So, and then tell us where your location is. We're going to do that all at noon, and I'll have him. I'll try to do the live show again like I did today. He wasn't able to make it, but I'll have him on live, and then we can do some triangulation. I mean, it's the least we can do. So we're sitting up here with our hands tied while they're down there doing this, so we can kind of help. If that,
you think triangulation is gonna? I mean,
nah. It's bad reckoning.
It's a long shot. It is. At least with listen, man, and I agree. I mean, it's better than not doing anything. At least we're not making claims and not trying to follow up behind it with a way to prove it, right? You know what I'm saying? So, damn, what a weird place to be. Even still, let's see, what did I have over here? What did I have over here? We have, so this guy, Jared Isaacman, with all this crazy stuff going on in the world, especially with certain countries out there in the Eastern Med. You guys know who I'm talking about. One that's wiping out a whole group of people, just totally wiping them out so that they could run a channel through there and freaking much of Asia Minor and stuff. This guy is one of the Synagogue of Satan.
Yep.
It's one of them. If you hadn't seen, let me show you.
Did you see Candace Owens today?
No,
the video came out in the last day or so.
Oh, yeah, dude, the one yesterday, the one before that, where she actually interviewed a guy who was on the USS Liberty.
That's the one I'm talking about. I just saw it today for the first time, but I was just
that's
blown
what
away.
you were.
I was
that's
blown
what
away.
you were telling me about.
Yeah, that was incredible information. And and that went out. I think it's up to like 3 million hits on her channel alone. But that's a story that needed to get out and got out, and that's going to accelerate whatever's going on now to higher speeds.
I have always wanted to have a Liberty guest on this channel. I have always wanted to have a Liberty guest on this channel to just talk. I've always wanted
told
to have
his story, brother. He told the story, man, and it's like, they came and this admiral came in
Yes,
to
I
talk to him
remember.
in the hospital and
Took
took
his-
off his scars and says, "Talk to me like I'm your dad" or something. And then after he told him the story, he said, "If you ever repeat that, I'll make sure that you are either imprisoned or dead."
Yep.
Yeah,
Exactly.
dude, that
Yep.
was just that sent chills up my spine. I was just like, whoa.
You
So
know
that
what's
was
crazy? You know what's crazy is when I was enlisted, I would, we have something called the IWS, right? Information Warfare Specialist. And basically you what it does is it's a qualification that puts you in the running to get a badge, right? Up on top, or it's a warfare device up on top of, your uniform and stuff. And there's more to it than that. But anyway, to make a super long story short, I would tell my sailors that were going up for this badge and this qualification, because I was already qualified, about the Liberty incident. And so they didn't understand the significance as to why it was so important to know these things. And I'm like, the USS Liberty, like, you have to know who your enemies are. You can't be trusting any and everybody. Now, one of the first times I did this was in around 2011, 2012 time frame, right? And I was explaining to my sailors at the time, I was like, yeah, man, you really can't trust these guys. They're out here harming Americans now, but back in the 60s, it was a lot worse. You had something called the USS Liberty. And these guys were like, oh, that turned out to be, they made a mistake and this and that. I was like, I said it wasn't
Johnson said, "I don't care if that boat sinks to the bottom. I'm not going to embarrass my my closest ally." Okay.
Yep.
And they called back the fighter wing from the USS Hornet, which was like 20 minutes away, twice.
Yep. And it was
McNamara did
they
it.
were out there.
McNamara
Yeah.
did it the first time, and then Johnson himself did it the second time.
That was John McCain's father that was in charge of that ship, or that part of the European theater. That was John McCain's dad that was in charge of that. Believe it or not. Yes.
Yeah.
That was his father.
Well,
And then they recalled, those planes were coming out there to see what was going down so they could fire upon them, but then they were recalled back. That's right.
do you want to know why the attack ended up stopping? The guy never covered this, but I've done a lot of research on the USS Liberty. It was a Russian observation plane witnessed the event happening, and the radio chatter got back to the Russian bases, and they called off the attack.
wow.
Really?
That story he told about when he was up on deck, and the IDF helicopter came right up and he flipped him off.
Yeah.
And the IDF guy flipped him back off. And then apparently that was, I mean, can you imagine that? Like, and then they wanted to call it an accident. They said, well, we misidentified him or whatever. I'm just like, dude. And like, you just listen to the guy. I mean, you could tell like he's telling it top to bottom. And it's like, yeah, I mean, and that's what started, who knows how many years of constant war,
God.
That single incident.
Yep. And they were about to light Egypt up. They were about to just destroy the hell out of that place.
Well, the entire operation was to make it look like Egypt did it.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes,
in order
absolutely.
to get U.S. support to come in on Israel's side. Now, as it stands now, they took the Golan Heights, but that's as far as they went. Their plan was the Greater Israel Project, which includes taking all of Syria, part of Egypt, Iran, the whole 9 yards. Everybody basically that they're at war with right now.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Wild stuff, man. And it's I thought that perhaps it would come to like some sort of boiling point, maybe this year. I now looking at Trump's cabinet and everybody that he brought on board doesn't look like
lies stacked up on top of lies, with liars leading the pack, man. This dude is putting a lot. I don't even want to. You should have seen what this Jared Isaacman, what he was doing beforehand. At 16, he ran like a credit card consolidation company. At 16, is what the claim is. So it's
this is our space guy now.
Yes, yes. So I'm like, man, we constantly have people at every turn You just people that you can't trust. You should never trust. And this is why, like, you know, when these things fall into my lap, they may look harmless, man, but these are some of these people are, this is the synagogue of Satan. I don't know how else to say it.
Yeah.
This is the synagogue of Satan. President-elect Donald Trump, December 2024, the next administrator for NASA. So now his job is to continue to successfully kick this can down the road and say, yeah, well, Artemis can't do A, B, and C because look at who they're having work in concert with another known liar, Elon Musk. They're having him work with Elon Musk, basically. So either this is what I foresee, and I could totally be wrong. They can take NASA and then they can do something with it. Either they'll tear it down and say, well, NASA's been lying to you guys from day one, but we're here to bring you the truth. So what we're here to do is present to you SpaceX. Or they're going to bolster up NASA, and then they're going to be like, oh, NASA's the best thing since sliced bread, and then they're actually really good. And, you know, since we know that they're good because we have SpaceX and we have Blue Origins and all this other nonsense to basically support the claim that everything that they've been working up to now, 2024, has been solid. It's been official. So we're just there to back them up because, you know, we're here to streamline a bunch of things with Doge, and NASA's one of those things we cannot truly streamline because they've been doing such good work. It's so effective. It works so well that that Elon Musk is in charge of what he's in charge of with SpaceX, and Donald Trump decides he wants to throw some of the synagogue of Satan in charge of NASA to do what it is they're doing. Land my plane right there.
And
Yeah,
who
man.
says Neuralink ain't gonna be implemented in all that health stuff they got planned?
Oh God, yeah.
Trying
What's
to
his
help
name?
handicap and hurt people, you know, try maybe some experiments, you know, you can try it if you want, you know.
And I'll tell you what, probably the best thing you could probably do is put that microchip inside of your head and eat 2 bags of apples.
Yeah.
No doubt.
He will make people walk again.
Yeah, I don't. And boy, Donald Trump has got the Sinister Six in his cabinet, boy. Boy, oh boy.
The dude, listen, he is the snake that he was talking about when he told that story about the snake and the old woman. Everybody assumed it was Hillary. And the moment that, you know, I said, maybe I don't think that's Hillary. And the moment he said, oh, come on, they're good people, we don't care about that anymore, and then gave him the standing ovation, all that, I said, yep, there's your snake right there, baby. There he is. He's going to make Israel great again.
Jeez, man. All right. So without further ado, before I forget, Sav, where you at? Of course, you're right here.
Oh, I'm right here, man.
Dr. Bose, where you at? Dr. Bose with the hose. Where you at, Dr. Bose? Truth Trollette. Truth Trollette, where you at? Truth Trollette should be here.
I got to be over here. Yeah.
Zach Sullivan, where you at? Dr. Bose is there. Truth Trollette is there. Dojo, what's happening, bro?
There's me.
Zach Sullivan, you're here, Sav. Amazing. All right, fellas, let's get on with it. Okay, front and center, everybody. Front and center. In the name of God Almighty and by the grace of Saint Michael, our heavenly defender, and Saint George, our valiant protector, I, Ironwork 92,000, do hereby dub thee, Sav, Dr. Bose, Truth Trollette, Zach Sullivan, a knight of the realm. Arise, Sir and Dam, Sav,
I'm not,
Dr. Bose,
I can't arise. I'm not wearing pants. I'm not wearing pants.
And Zach Sullivan, you who wield the mighty wrench of moderation with the strength of Ironwork 92,000, have shown unwavering courage and an unyielding spirit. Like Saint Michael, you stand against the forces of chaos, and like Saint George, you face down the dragons of discord. Your dedication to justice and peace within the digital realm is a testament to your noble spirit. May God guide your keystrokes, and Saint Michael and Saint George inspire your heart as you embark on this noble path. Defend the vulnerable, Uphold the truth and serve with honor, always remembering the sacred vows that you have taken upon your soul this day. Go forth and build community, repair broken conversations, and also banish the liars and protect the innocent. For in your hands, the wrench is a tool of harmony and a symbol of hope. Congratulations, fellas. You guys have earned your wrench.
Woo!
Congrats. I need
Ain't
the
supposed
epic
to get some
music.
kind
I
of
need
a
the epic chamber
notification?
music to go with it.
Ain't I supposed to get some kind of notification or something?
Yeah, it's coming, man. It's coming. You know, it's hard for me to do a couple of
Congrats,
that
guys.
things. Yeah. It's hard for me to do that thing.
I
that
tell
once
you
in a
guys,
while.
it's the club to be in. It's the
Hell
club to be
yeah.
in.
It's like it's not the Mickey Mouse Club. Those guys are Pedialites.
Yeah, I heard that. I heard about that. That's not good.
There we go.
These people are bad people.
Oh
They're
yeah,
everywhere.
hold on. Where we at?
Hide your kid, hide your wife.
You know. Oh no, where we at? Sav, where you at? Sav, you here?
Yeah, I'm here. Hang on.
Trollette. Boom. Damn, this thing is tough, man. There we go. Truth Trollette. Sav. There he is. Sav's in the house. And then for those of y'all that I called out that didn't show up yet, I know Zach Sullivan was here. There you go, Sav. Dr. Bose. Dr. Bose, where you at? Dr. Bose, could you please type something and just like make yourself appear, please? Dr. Bose, where you at? Dr. Bose supposed to know. Where you at? Dr. Bose was here. There he is. Dr. Bose is a mod. I know it's just a wrench, y'all, but to me, it means so much more. Just don't be kicking out Professor Phil. Professor Phil is actually cool people. Don't kick out Professor Phil. And Zach Sullivan. Can't find him. Don't know where Zach is, but when Zach Sullivan comes in here, I'll find you, and then I will bestow you your wrench of awesomeness. All right.
Scanner of tyranny. I like
go.
that, Jano.
With this wrench, I will administer justice.
Exactly. You will like it. If you have ways to make you like it.
Yeah, all right. Yeah, man. So this dude, man, Jared, what's his name? Yeah, Jared Isaacman. I was like, oh no, please, please, please. We are stepping into a new era that demands really the best talent, motivation, perseverance, and in the face of adversity. Isaacman, who as a 16-year-old found Shift for Payments Incorporated, a credit card processing company that now trades on the NYSE and had more than 2.5 billion in revenue last year. A 16-year-old.
Interesting.
I find that very interesting. I don't trust this dude, man.
I don't trust anybody he's putting in there, bro.
Fuck
Listen,
no.
every one of them is tribal, bro. Tribal is all get out.
Yep.
We're talking about some beanie wearing shit. I mean, what's going on with this overrepresentation, and why are we gotta kiss Israel's ass so much all the time? What is it, man? It's Satan's kingdom. That's why.
Yep. Now more than ever, these guys are intent on putting in that Ben Gurion Canal. That's what the original name is supposed to be, the Ben Gurion Canal. And it's supposed to, from what I read, before I continue and be wrong about some stuff, I want to be positive. I'd much rather be right. Let's see. So let's look at this Ben Gurion Canal, right? That's why what is the Ben Gurion Canal? Not even why Gaza matters. I mean, we see what's going on. We know what they're trying to do. So Israel Okay, and you mentioned the no, you mentioned the Israel project. Originally proposed in the 1960s as an alternative to the Suez Canal. Okay, so Israel continues its onslaught on the besieged Gaza Strip, named after David Ben Gurion. I think that was their first prime minister, right? Of Israel.
Ben Gurion, that sounds right.
David Ben Gurion, yep.
I
60s.
I think it was gold in my air after that.
Yeah, yep. They kind of look the same.
Probably
She looks
are.
like she looks like Lyndon Baines Johnson, which is weird.
Probably is Johnson.
It's
he was a J too.
Was he?
Yeah,
LBJ? Wow. I did not know that. Understanding the motivations. I did not know that.
Yeah,
The
man. His
background.
grandmother was
She was?
heavy duty influence on him and a outspoken Zionist. Yeah, man.
Can't trust
I didn't trust that dude. I was just a little kid, and I can remember he'd come on the TV, and we all had to, oh, it's the president. Everybody be quiet. Well, I didn't really understand at that time what the president was. I just knew that for some reason this guy was important, and everybody shut up and listened to him when he came on TV. And I just remember looking at him and going, I don't like that man. I mean, I just could remember thinking he looks like a bad man. I could sense it in him. And, after as years went on, I come to find out I was absolutely right. That dude was a fucking demon.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Tiny Soft was sitting there. He's a piece of shit.
Yeah, he made life interesting for a lot of people, and he didn't want to seek re-election either. He was done. He was done after his term. He was done.
I will not seek out, nor will I accept the nomination of my party for president of the United States.
Okay, so they're saying right here, connection between the Red Sea and the Med already exists with the Suez, an artificial sea level, and so what they're saying is that it was supposed to be through the Gulf of Aqaba, right? So the Gulf of Aqaba is right there north of the Red Sea. If you look at the Sinai Peninsula, it looks like a shark's tooth. The Gulf of wait a minute. Yeah, so the Gulf of Aqaba is on the right, and there's the Suez that's on the left. Right, and through the Gulf of Aqaba is where they would have cut a channel, and that would have been the whatchamacallit, the freaking the Ben Gurion Canal. Constantinople intervention. Yeah, but now they're talking about it's not just that. No. Suez Canal was closer. Nah, these guys. There's a little bit more to this Ben Gurion Canal. There's a little bit more.
It's going to take away from the Suez Canal and the tariffs and shit that are used, that are collected by being able to use that passageway. And the only way that they can have a canal is by taking the land of the people that are living there now. And so they go, oh, look, they attacked us. So now we have to go in there and kill all their little babies and children.
Yep. Because they're all bad. They're all Hamas.
Yep.
Project would originate from Israel, from Eilat on the Red Sea, cross the Jordanian border, flow through the Arabah Valley, enter the Dead Sea, head northward around the Gaza Strip before reaching the Med. My God. Oh, so this doesn't sound like much like it used to, because $100 billion could now probably buy you a loaf of bread and like maybe 2 dozen eggs. But it says the price tag of this thing is going to run around 100 billion, which compared to all these crazy, astounding numbers that we're hearing from, let me let you guys take a gander at what it is I'm reading over here. With seeing what it is that we're seeing, 100 billion doesn't even sound like much. It doesn't sound like much at all. I'll be honest with you.
Did you see the patches that the IDF on their arms? Did you notice that the the patch had the basically the border for Greater Israel on it, which is they've got it extending on like into Egypt a little bit and then over.
Yeah.
And I guess they're just gonna take over Syria at this point, right? Because they don't have any leadership over there, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's Syria. Syria is like the new Libya right now.
Mm-hmm.
Syria is the new Libya, and then the U.S. is going to light that place up. But here's another thing with Syria. Syria is filled with old world everything.
Yeah.
I remember when they went in there in 2011, I think it was 2011, 2012, whatever it was, when they went in there trying to get freaking the president out, that they were trying to get Assad out. And then what they did was they sent ISIS in there to destroy these monuments. And they got on these ladders, they got these hammers, they got the jackhammers and everything. And then they started to face those big, those big creatures that had they had the creature heads, they had man heads, and they had lion's body. That's called a lamasu. I don't even know. I know that's what it's called. I don't even know what a lamasu is, but it almost looks like something like what a sphinx would look like, right? Man's head, animal's body. They went around just destroying and defacing those things. And then the US, of course, arming those guys, they went around and they just destroyed Damascus. Where do you hear about Damascus again? You hear about the Damascus road, you hear about this one and that one in the Bible, in the scriptures. So Lord knows how old these things are. And that's what
there's
they
even
want.
a Damascus gate. That's the gate that Jesus came through, wasn't it?
Oh, I don't know.
I think it is.
Yeah. So that's it right there. Like these guys, like I don't even know what to say anymore, man. I don't even know.
They want it all. They want all that. I'm looking at Google Earth here now too. I'm just
looking at where we're talking about, right? Like that the Red Sea, the Red Sea and going into the Dead Sea. Yeah, all that.
What a mess, man. What a mess.
Now that's something that we spoke about. I'll bring up, hold on, I'll get out of that real quick, and I'll bring up I will bring up ArcGIS, which a lot of y'all, I know you guys don't like ArcGIS. You guys prefer Google Earth, I get it. But ArcGIS was one something that I just use often. And it's just, for me, it's a lot easier to use than it is Google Earth.
Yeah.
But I'm bringing up the ArcGIS real quick so we could have our little reference globe, I guess you could say. Then we'll go. Let me present it to you guys right here. Share screen. ArcGIS. Boom. There it is. Boom. There it is. Okay. So here we are, the US. Let's go head east. Africa. And then so here's where we're talking right here. Whoa. This is the Gulf of Aqaba right here. And there's Suez right up in here is where the Suez would be. Boop. Then it'll take them out here to the Med right here. This is the Sinai Peninsula right here. This. And this is where the Liberty was. They were hanging out right here, actually.
Yep.
They were hanging out right over here. But yeah, this is why I say it looks like a dang's shark's tooth. Looks like a megalodon's tooth, and then Gulf of Aqaba, and this is where they want to cut this joker out at. Boom, right in here. Boom, right in there, right through there. And then where's Jordan? Jordan should be up here, right? Right here, right through all of this. Boom. And then look at who they got rid of. They got rid of Syria. Wow, how convenient is that? They got rid of these dudes, leaves a big old power vacuum in here, and then they could do whatever they want. They could run whatever they want, man. They could run another whatchamacallit up in here. They could do whatever they want. Look at this. How convenient. They get rid of Assad, and then they could do whatever they want. It's a big old power vacuum. Amazing. These people, man.
They're not really trying to hide it either.
Nope, not at all. And so now we're going to we could very well do a pincer move and say Iran is giving us problems, give them hell, and then Yes, because what I'm hearing is they want to run like a highway or something from Israel all the way through the rest of this region right here. They want to run something through here towards the Persian Gulf. Oh boy, I don't know. Let's go back to the flat Earth. This is going to make my head explode. Yeah, let me get away from that. I got out of arches. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's a big topic, man, but you know, it's coming to the surface, and that's at least hopeful. You know, people are starting to just realizing it alone is hopeful. You know.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, they weren't even talking. Nobody was talking about this topic 10 years ago, and now it's becoming more common.
Yep.
And
it's just interesting that recruiting is so low around the services. Nobody wants to go into the military no more, right?
They can't find anybody that's adequately suited anymore. Everybody's overweight and stupid.
Yeah, you used to have standards. You used to need to be in some semblance of shape, actually in shape, to commit to these types of jobs. You needed to be like halfway smart, have a high school degree at a minimum. The Army didn't care. The Army was like, man, as long as you could blink, we'll put you in a suit and then we'll send you downrange with a rifle in your hand.
Yeah.
I know that I know I make a joke about that, but the Navy was doing the same thing. They were like, man, as long as you could take
always room for people in the front.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
The Navy was like,
we never run out of room for people in the front.
Yeah, the Navy was like, as long as you could do this and then keep doing that, we'll take a spoon, stick it in your hand, and then you just stand over a pot and just keep doing this right here. You good. You know what I'm saying? Navy was starting to do that. And now they're throwing money at people, and people are like, hell no, we ain't falling for that banana in the tailpipe. There ain't no way in hell. And so they're trying to pull all stops, man. And I don't know. Like, I really don't know. I do know that my nephew asked about it, asked me what I thought, and I even told him, I was like, man, this is a fool's errand, baby. Forget about it. This ain't even worth it. At one time, I would have probably told him it's one of the best things to do. But even me saying, you know, I love the service and love my time in, but I can't even want to even consider to try and convince my own kith and kin to do this craziness, man. Hell no. We have our own freaking commander, quote unquote commander in chief, which he's not leadership. I'm not even going to call these guys don't deserve to be called leaders anymore. You had this dude, you know, pretend to have flat feet and like feet pain and all kinds of nonsense so he could avoid dodging a draft, which would he have gotten his nuts shot off? Who knows, right? Maybe they would have put him in a clerk position, or his dad would have found something for him to do in an office somewhere in Florida. But I mean, this guy would have he did his best to avoid fighting for this country. So now he has the nerve to do what it is, to be in charge of all the services which he did his best to fucking avoid. I find it absolutely troubling that people would actually vote for something like that. Not saying that the alternative was better, but I mean, let's consider what he's done, right? And what we've known he's done. It's not like this is fiction. It's well known. And he still has yet to answer for this. Wasn't this considered a crime to do such a thing? Didn't you have to go to jail if you did something like that? I know we'd go to jail. Yeah. I know anybody that's normal would go to jail, but he gets to, I don't know, man. It's a fucking game, if you ask me. It's a fucking joke. Riku, go ahead, brother. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to drop that in for you. Go ahead. I apologize. Go ahead, Lowry. You were going to say something.
I was just going to say, I'm going to be streaming again later tonight, I think, with Saw. So I need to take a dinner break.
Yes.
You might even be on there. But wanted to say also, Tinfoil Sombrero Sunday, we are having Vlad Ironwork 92,000. And you're going to be able to talk about yourself. That's going to be your interview. You get to anything you want. It's a laid back show. And really looking forward to that. And I'll probably see you later tonight. I got to get some food right now, though. So
hell yeah, family. I appreciate you, man. And as a matter of fact, we're 2 hours deep. You go ahead, you do that. Riku is in the house. It's good to have you, Larry. And were those your last words? Oh, Larry was like, man, I'm hungry as hell. Shut up. And I was like,
It
all
sure
right.
was his last words.
Those were it. Those were it. Riku, welcome, bro. Welcome. Good to have you, man.
Hey guys. Yeah,
Hey.
sorry to miss that guy and the
In the chat,
lady
Larry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But well, yeah. I mostly heard what you've been talking about. Like after Brenda, I took a break and had a call with my friend to Finland, and now I'm just waiting to go with my daughters to the park and the dog. So I have 15 minutes. So if I can say something stupid to you all within that time frame, that time frame should be enough for me to say something stupid. So
well, we had Brenda on here, so there's nothing that you can say that's stupid that could eclipse that. So
oh, don't underestimate me. No, but
I heard
anyway,
those Finnish guys. They are either so smart or so whatever. He knows.
Go ahead, man.
Yeah. So tomorrow we have that discussion. It's today I had a talk with the American friend of mine. He's older than me, maybe 63, or he's 63. And the arguments, they always defending the globe, they're the same. And his argument, the go back question was, which kind of annoyed me the sixth time I heard it within the 20-minute period, was that, hey, why don't you prove it? Why don't you gather 50,000 or 100,000 and go and see the South Pole? And I'm like repeating myself, yeah, that's not possible, but and there will be the army will be there. And he's saying, no, if you have a lot of money, you can fly anywhere you want. You can take your ship, go anywhere. So I'm like, no, you can't. Prove it. You can prove it by hiring the boat for 50,000 and 100,000 and going like wanking circles around that. So at the end, I got like kind of angry because like it's just stupid argument. Well, like repeating it after and after. So tomorrow when we have the questionnaires, that's something we should talk about, and
Absolutely. I'll put that. Yeah, totally. Make sure. Proof. Yes, sir.
Yeah, we should have a good show coming tomorrow, and there's 5 different people, 5 different personalities answering questions. Maybe somebody pops in from this chat, and we keep a place open to come in and ask question or say something that many people have asked, like to be answered. So let's make a good show.
Hell yeah, man. I can't wait. I'm really looking forward to it. I know Flat Earth David's going to be there. Guys, have you seen Jaron? So he's going to be there. That's going to be fun. That's going to be interesting. I think the last time, actually the only time I was on with David Weiss was when he came on to the Ghost of Judah Tribes. Ghost of Judah Tribe is the one that got me to start doing my show. And he came on to the Ghost channel. And that was fun. Yeah. I was on my lunch break, actually, when at work, I was on my lunch break and we did that show. So I can't wait to do that with him again. That's going to be amazing. And I know Gene edited and Vika's going to be there too, right? Yeah. Okay. This is totally going to be fun.
The thing we should, because when I normally do my shows, I do it like pretty strictly. Not with you when we had our talk 3 weeks ago or so. Then I was joking with your pictures all the time, your nude pictures and all that. But that's kind of the way we should make this, not about your nude pictures, but make it funny and more intriguing, and that. So yeah.
Okay. All right. Hell yeah. I know Vic is gonna be like, hey brother, hello brother. Gene, where is Gene? Gene is here too. Hello, brother. Okay. Because this mechanism is what's important. It's
and
not
of course,
about...
these things always require the good questions. So I have some questions. I will translate them from Finnish to English because there's probably quite a bit of Finnish viewers probably most. So I'm not going to translate everything, but those questions that I have. And so we will have a good show. But it's all of these, if it's a good success, you need to have good characters and good questions and make it funny and light, but still serious, of course. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I totally agree. I tell you, David Weiss has been on a tear lately. He's always on a tear, but he was on a show yesterday with Dr. Richie. Dr. Richie. Dr. Richie is basically a spinoff of the Young Turks. And Dr. Richie has a pretty big following. I don't know if you've ever seen him, but he has a pretty big following on YouTube. He was getting upset with David Weiss, and he's a lawyer. And his line of questioning, I was like, man, as a lawyer, you've got some terrible questions, man. Like, I could find a lawyer, a much better lawyer somewhere else. And his question,
lawyer and liar sound the same for a reason. Okay,
no, that's actually a really good point.
Not to mention, anyone that is a member of the Bar Association is a traitor to the United States and the Constitution of the United States, because you're not allowed to carry a title of nobility and be a United States citizen at the same time. And Esquire is a title of nobility. So
it makes you a knight, doesn't it?
Yep.
That's true. I thought it made you a knight when you got knighted by me getting a wrench, but I guess being a real knight by the U.S. But then wait a minute. If you're
it's not the U.S., it's the British. It's the British.
That's what I was going to ask. I was like,
we never broke away from England. Okay, that's a lie.
You lost the war.
Experiment. That's
you lost the war. Then
read
Sovereign. You lost the war, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Look, they made it look like the Americans won. Okay, that's all. And when you read the treaty, look at who signed it. The King George, one of his patents of nobility that's listed before his name is Prince of the Americas. We actually registered as a corporation in London, England on July the 2nd, 1776, then declared independence on the 4th. What?
Wow.
You didn't. Yeah. It wasn't about the slaves either. So if something
that's
doesn't
the Civil War.
Your history, it's not even my history. But
that's the Civil War. That was the Second War of American Independence, also known as the Civil War, also known as the War of Northern Aggression. What they did within that war is they changed us from a democratic republic, a confederacy. Basically, the United States was a confederacy. And Lincoln, seen as a tyrant, was federalizing this confederacy, giving central power over the satellite countries, basically. This is why Robert E. Lee, when he was offered a generalship to head up the Grand Army of the Republic that Lincoln was raising against the South. And Robert E. Lee said, as much as I oppose secession, I have a higher duty to my country. Virginia is my home. I cannot turn my sword against her. Okay, so what does that mean? Virginia was his country. Okay, New Jersey is a country. This is what a state is. It's a unification of states on the American continent, a unification of countries, just like the European Union is now.
So I wonder
if with weak central power, and all it was an alliance that everybody had to correspond with the Constitution of the United States. Anything not covered by the Constitution of the United States was left to the states themselves.
So I wonder if a lot of these countries that were in the U.S., right, these states that were divided into, actually these countries, if they had their own currency.
Yes. And they found that was a bit troublesome because of the fact that, and what is currency? Currency are what? Bank notes. Because it's around a certified receipt for money that you have deposited in this bank than it is to carry around the actual gold or the silver. It's too cumbersome and it's dangerous. Okay. So you have these certificate notes that are by a reputable bank. And if that person, if you give them that amount, it's like a check. Okay. And it's got the name of the bank, the reputable bank. And you take it there. So if the bank is that of Ohio or the Bank of Virginia or the Bank of Michigan or what have you, that was how that worked. But they found it easier that if they had a one system currency of the United States that everybody agreed on, it was a little bit simpler way to have the economy work.
Right.
And we went to that, but it was still based on actual tangible wealth. It was actual money because it represented physical wealth. Now it represents future debt. Okay. When we get Federal Reserve notes, which are the notes of a private bank, they're not US currency. The Federal Reserve is private. So when we receive these, when they have to borrow that from the Federal Reserve at an interest rate. So this is why you could never, ever pay the debt, because in order to pay the debt, you'd have to borrow the money from the person you owe the debt to at an interest rate. So it's a Ponzi scheme. You could never get out from under it. It's actually illegal. It's usury in its purest evil form. And here we are, just as Thomas Jefferson had warned, destitute on our own continent that we fought and died for, supposedly.
Shit. Oof, what a tangle web we weave.
Yeah, man. And nobody was paying attention, man. They came in with they threw everybody into economic chaos, right? With the depression, and then went and filed bankruptcy at the World Court. The U.S. is bankrupt. It's never come out of that bankruptcy. This is when they started the birth certificates, because you, as cattle or chattel, this is what farm bills are about. They're not about agriculture. They're about you as chattel are the collateral for that bankruptcy.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Somebody's saying I blame Nixon for this. And,
well, taking us off the gold standard, but that was inevitable. What else
was
could
getting
he do
started?
with
Yeah.
What was going on was this: is that leaders around the world, right, especially like Charles de Gaulle, he was the president of France at the time, and he was like, "How in the fuck are they paying for this war they're in? They're dropping tons and tons of bombs, and we have our gold in their Fort Knox, in their depositories. I think that we should start getting that out." And other countries started doing that as well. They were cashing in all their debts into US currency and then getting the gold for it. Well, to stop the drain on the gold that wasn't there anymore to begin with, Nixon saved the dollar from the speculators by taking us temporarily off of the gold standard and going into the OPEC agreement. Now, this is the oil producing nations of the Middle East. Saudi Arabia, Iran, used to be, Iraq used to be part of it. And the way that it worked was this, is that anybody wishing to purchase oil from those countries had to first convert their money into US currency. So they had to buy US currency and then use it to buy the oil from these people. And this was keeping our dollar propped up. It still is. Okay. So when people are saying, pump our own goddamn oil. Yeah, no, that'll kill the dollar. Even worse. Okay. That's what people don't understand. The gas isn't going up. Your dollar is going down. Your dollar is
like fun bucks.
Less.
It's like, oh, here's a bunch of fun bucks. Now you can go buy whatever at this carnival. You can buy whatever at, Nathan's hot dogs.
Yep. Somebody messaged me.
But Saab, what time are you starting tonight?
9:30, man.
9:30? Family?
Yeah, I'm gonna set it up here in just a minute.
Family, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm going to call it a show tonight. We've got Saab's coming up. Let's reconvene. Let's pick it back up. Saab, I know you've got your topics, but I'd love to join you.
No, man, this would be great. You want to we'll take a break and we'll reconvene on my channel. How's that sound?
Absolutely.
All right. Well, I'll go in here and I'll set it up for Rumble and on my channel for 9:30. And let's see, right? Well, I'll tell you what. Why don't I go ahead and set it up for 9? That work out better?
Well, 9:30 works. 9:30 works.
9:30 is better. Okay, cool. I'll
Yeah.
do that. I'll do that then. All right.
Yeah. Cool. All right then. Shoot,
And
y'all.
I'll see you guys tomorrow for the show. Yeah.
Yes, that's right, family. Riku's show, David Weiss, Riku, Gene Edited, and myself. We're going to be there 11 o'clock Eastern time. 11 o'clock Eastern time. That's what's up. And Vika. And Vika is going to be there too. That's right. 11 o'clock Eastern.
So what? Well, I'll just call it. I'll say Antarctica, UFOs, and the Trump administration.
Hell yeah, that's plenty. That's gonna attract a lot of craziness tonight, boy.
All right, we'll do that. Let's see.
No Israel.
Well, that'll kind of cut into it too.
Oh,
probably have to cut off. It could probably have to cut off a YouTube and be exclusively on Rumble to talk about any of that because, you know who runs YouTube, right?
Yep.
No.
It rhymes with you.
And it's not me.
Bad news.
It rhymes with you.
That's right.
Yeah. It's tomorrow on my channel. Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Fact.
All right. See you guys. Thanks for watching. See you guys.
Thanks. Much appreciated, y'all. Be sure to join us on Sobs here in the next 2 hours. It'll be at 9 o'clock. 9:30. Excuse me. 9:30. So in the next hour and a half or so.
Don't fuck it up, Vlad.
Don't mess it up. Yeah. I'm not. And the next hour and a half, y'all. So join us on Sob's channel. We know where it is. We know what's good. So you guys, love you. Of course, I'm not going to give you my greeting because I'm going to see you here in the next couple of hours. Anyway, you guys, see you in a few. Peace.
Yes,